Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
You got a jam-packed day of sports today. A reminder that today's Mariners-Mets game will be heard in its entirety on AM 770 and the Seattle Sports app. The Seahawks-Chiefs game will air right here on 710 as well as on the app. Any confusion, just download the Seattle Sports app and you will find both broadcasts. You have a choice to listen to either broadcast on the Seattle Sports app. I don't want to hear about favoritism. I don't want to hear complaints. Get the app on your phone.
These are decisions made way above our pay grade.
Yeah, way above our pay grade.
It's
It
Curtis's
is not
fault.
favoritism.
Whoa,
It is
whoa,
not
whoa, whoa,
Curtis.
whoa, whoa,
It is
whoa.
broadcasting.
No.
It's Curtis. Blame Curtis at a kid from Kent. Send all of your complaints on Twitter.
Hey, if you're going to complain, at least hit me with a follow.
But you can find both broadcasts, and I love the app because you can switch between them. You can also go back and listen to podcasts, whatever. It's 2025. Get the app on your phone. If you don't already have it, do it. Again, if you have questions about it, you can also always, sincerely text into the station. You can tweet at the station account.
We'll direct you to where you want to go.
We'll help you out if you're looking for it.
I ain't doing nothing. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, Bump's like, come listen to the Seahawks pregame.
Bump's going to be on pregame tonight. So I know that for some of you that are like, where do I find this? Where do I go for this? There are answers. If you have questions, you can ask us, but you do have access to both broadcasts, and we are so excited to talk about both these games. In fact, Bump, I want to start the show by talking about both of these teams. You don't have to squint hard to see a world, and I mean this sincerely, where the Mariners and Seahawks win their divisions. That's never happened before, but I'm telling you it's possible.
I might squint because I can't see. My eyes are bad, but I can see it. I can see a world where
it's there.
The Hawks win the division and the Mariners win the division. And why can I see that for the Hawks? It's because of their defense. I believe in Mike Macdonald, what he's doing with that defense. I believe in Imawari, how he's going to affect this team. I believe Reek is going to take a step forward. The linebackers are going to be on point. D-line is going to be on point as well. We got to wait and see what this offense looks like. Hopefully we see some of that today. I believe that the Mariners could do it because of their lineup as well. I know, lost, 2 out of 3 to the Orioles.
Who cares?
Almost called them the Ravens.
Orioles. Schmorioles.
That's right. That's right.
Let them know.
I believe because the teams are legitimately good enough and because the divisions are weird as well, right? The 49ers are down a little bit. Are they going to be healthy? What's going to happen there? And we're looking at the Rams. Your boy Matthew Stafford, Father Time is catching up. That back is hurting him, all right? And then you look at the AL West. The Astros aren't who they used to be. The Rangers aren't a very good team right now. There's possibilities. So, yes, you don't have to squint very hard. You can see it. I'm looking out a window right now, and I see into the future. There's a way where both teams win the division. So
this is, as I mentioned, never ever happened before. The Mariners have won the division thrice, so there wasn't a ton of opportunity there for overlap, and it just so happened that in most years when the Mariners were really, really good, we're winning the division. The Seahawks just were not. We don't need to talk about the 90s.
Those were the worst years.
We don't need to talk about the 90s Seahawks. I've said that a million times. We can keep it moving. There is a world though where you look at let's kind of break it down in each of these two divisions to kind of talk about it a bit more. The Seahawks are not favored. In fact, I have not heard many people who favor the Seahawks outside of Seattle to win the division. Colin Cowherd does. Colin Cowherd the other day talked about it.
The Rams have had a bumpy camp. Matt Stafford's not practicing. I know. And their left tackle, their best offensive lineman or second best, Alaric Jackson, not practicing. Blood clots. Well, with an old quarterback in Matt Stafford, I'm concerned that the left tackle, again, has blood clots and is not practicing. Rob Havenstein could be playing his last year at right tackle. So that worries me. It has been a bumpy camp with a left tackle and a quarterback not practicing. I'm not saying not playing, not practicing.
The way Colin says blood clots just sounds like it's full of vitriol.
Blood clots.
Blood clots. Old blood clots over here. BC, that's what we call them.
Blood clots Jackson.
Seattle winning the West.
And I'm going to put Seattle, this is my shocker, I think Seattle's going to win the division. Gray Zabel, that offensive lineman, their first pick, has been a dog in practice. So the Eagles, Packers, Bucks, and Seahawks are the division winners. Commanders, Lions, and Rams are the playoff teams.
Now, are a lot of fans outside of Seattle going to disagree with Colin? Yes. The Rams were in the playoffs last year. The Rams are favored by most outlets to go this year. But the fact that you could look up NFC West pick'em, NFC West favorites, and you can find arguments for the Cardinals, Bump, tells you how wide open this division is.
Yeah, it is wide open. We've heard people talk about it. Eric Williams was on the on our show the other day, and he gave some love to the Cardinals, and rightfully so. It's all about Kyler Murray and can he turn the corner, and then that defense has improved when it comes to personnel. With the Rams, we know what that defensive line looks like. The offensive weapons and Puka Nacua, who I think is a top 10 receiver at this time. Adams as well. Kyron Williams finished the season top 5 running back when it comes to yards. You look at the Seahawks, the potential of this defense, and then will this offense work out? There's an argument for everybody. I think that if we were to listen to the flagship station for all of the teams in this division, everyone has to be optimistic. I think the least optimistic is probably the Cardinals.
Yeah,
but they have reason to be, though.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it fun because the last few years has been, all right, we expect the Niners to win this thing. So, yeah, you're in the mix. You're in the fight, and everyone's trying to figure some things out. That's why I'm so excited about today's preseason game, week 2, because hopefully we see Sam Darnold in this offense. And you're not going to learn too much, but at least you get to see him out there and get a feel for if he has that aura or not.
253, Colin Cowherd is a joke. He changes his opinion on teams every day. I swear last month he said Seattle was going to be last in the division. Now, listen, I am not telling you that Colin Cowherd seems like a nice guy. I'm not telling you. I think so.
He was like the only Fox person not implicated in that lawsuit. So I think he's a good guy.
I'm counting it as a good guy. That being said, yeah, like when you have to be, a jack of all trades, you don't really get to be a specialist on exactly what's happening with each of these teams. That's why sometimes these national guys have takes on teams where you're like, really? That being said, I am pointing to Colin's take not to say, hey, this is definitively going to be right. Listen to this huge expert when it comes to the Seahawks, but to say there are many different opinions about who's going to win the West. I am not talking about a 2018 Boston situation where the New England Patriots are entering as defending AFC champs, where the Red Sox are entering having twice in a row won the AL East, and then you go and you look at both the Red Sox and Patriots winning their respective divisions, going on to win a title. Yeah, there are times when you look at something like that and you go, dominance, easy pick. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. That's the last time that both an NFL and MLB team from the same city went on to both win. Yes. This is about there's a road where you could see both teams winning their division. And isn't that interesting? Yeah. That's the case that I'm making. Colin is helping me make that case. Bump is helping make that case. There is a path where this isn't one of those like, theoretically it could happen. For the first time in a long time, the Mariners are more heavily favored to win the AL West than the Seahawks are to win the NFC West. That's pretty cool. I think that's really cool.
What's that song? For the first time in forever. You don't have kids, so you don't listen. What was that? Frozen, I believe. Have you seen Frozen?
Oh yeah, it's Frozen.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
Frozen,
gonna
right?
let you.
Curtis knows.
I'm gonna let you talk through this.
Curtis knows.
Do I know? Let me tell you something. Blair cannot sleep at night if she does not have her 2 Frozen books at her bedside. True story.
Oh,
True
it's
story.
adorable.
Real
Keep
talk.
the kids reading.
I had
readers are leaders.
I had a fake Elsa at my daughter's birthday party one year, so it is what it is. Yeah, it was real.
You know
She did a great job too.
I'm realizing that I need to ditch this whole radio deal and get into just like showing
Disney
up at kids'
princess
parties
stuff?
as
Yeah.
Disney princesses.
You could do that, honestly.
Yeah.
Probably
Why
make-
is Disney
probably make
princess
a good
so
amount.
old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be Snow White. You could be
Yeah.
Cinderella.
Yeah.
You could be Elsa.
Jasmine.
I
Well,
don't know.
I
I don't know about
don't
Jasmine.
think
I don't know about
being a
Jasmine.
little generous.
That's problematic.
I could be Snow White and the Evil Witch. I could
You
do like a
could.
2-for-1.
Flip it. Little
Yeah.
Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
You got it on lock.
I could just like roll in there with like a little tail on.
roll in there. I forgot what my point was going to be. Oh, we're talking about the Seahawks and the Mariners. Okay. Yes. For the first time in forever, we can see a way. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. The likelihood of it happening, I don't think is very high.
Well,
but at this point in the season where the Seahawks are 0-0 and the Mariners are a game and a half behind now, the Astros, I believe, game and a half behind. I can see it happening. Things have to go right. And I think a lot of people have PTSD with the Mariners because they let you down. I'm looking at the text lines already. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to break your heart. I feel you. I hear you. You've been hurt. Let's talk about this. And I understand why you feel that way. 253 who texted in that. I get it. But at this point of the season, it's real. And the lineup is good enough to where it's not far-fetched. So, yes, I believe. And if I see Sam Darnold throw one completion today, I'm really going to buy in. Just one.
A single first play of the game being a pass, and it's a completion.
It's like a 3-yard check down to Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah.
Man.
It's pass for a loss of 2, and you're going to be like, it's happening.
Let's
This
go.
is happening. I will push back a little bit against like it being. Is it unlikely because it's rare? Sure. It is, in theory, unlikely because it's very, very rare. It is exceptionally rare for 2 teams in different leagues in the same city to go on and win championships. The Lakers and Dodgers did it, if you want to count that Lakers championship.
Or the Dodgers one, for that matter. Man.
Sorry.
Just
But listen,
some drive-by right
they've
there.
done it. If I'm looking at NFL and MLB, I mentioned the 2008 Dream
not my
Patriots
week,
and
man.
Red Sox.
This is not my
and that
week.
ended up happening.
This is
the
bull
Phillies
core
and
and this is
Eagles
malarkey.
both won the
What have I
division.
done to deserve
Nothing.
what I'm getting
we
this
just
week?
love you so much. We just love you so much, and we know you're so
Any
strong.
car troubles today? Oh, my
we didn't
goodness.
even-
Right?
Yeah. You've had a rough morning, and you're going to have
have.
a very long day.
I had to Uber to work.
From Monroe? That's like a $400 Uber.
From
fee.
Woodinville. From Woodinville.
At that point, I'd be
I had to hitch a ride. You know what I did? I stood at the corner. I stuck my thumb up, and someone picked me up.
I would be afraid of that.
I stuck up my finger, my 5th finger. Stacy doesn't think a thumb is a finger. And someone gave me a
That's
ride.
been my only thing this week where like people have been making fun of me. But I think that, again, if I said, lift up a finger, is anyone on the planet, is anyone listening right now giving a thumbs
For
up?
the rest of my life, I will be lifting
Out
up.
of stubbornness
Yeah.
and spite.
Yes, because of you. I will be lifting up my thumb.
Let me get back to my point, which is, yes, by virtue of it being uncommon, you can say it's unlikely. But if there ever was a year where you looked at both the Mariners and the Seahawks and thought, you know what, these divisions are wide open, both of these teams can be really competitive. In the case of the Mariners, they should be, kind of a favorite to get even hotter in the American League, in a pretty wide open American League. In the case of the Seahawks, they need some stuff to go right offensively. Your offensive line needs to be better. Your run game, one of the worst in the league last year, needs to be better. Your defense should be like a top 10 defense, easy.
It should,
there's enough
it should be.
positive there with that team.
Yeah, there's positive on both ends, right? Miller might be coming back soon for the Mariners.
Yeah.
You got Julio, who's playing some great baseball right now. Cal is being Cal. Suarez is quietly been playing a little better, right? A couple hits the last 2 games, a hit here and there. And then for the Seahawks, it's about that defense. And I truly believe, and this isn't just because I'm a homer. I look at what Kubiak offense likes to do, and it fits what Sam Darnold did with the Vikings. He doesn't have the same weapons. There's no Justin Jefferson over there, but he has a decent wide receiver group. It's all about that offensive line. So at this point, yes, I can totally see it. Both teams winning the division. It's going to be tough. It's not guaranteed. Things have to happen. Injuries are going to happen. You have to work through some things. But right now, yeah, I can totally see it.
Let's, in the final minute, talk about some of those things that have to happen. So we'll frame it as a fill-in-the-blank type thing. If this year the Mariners and Seahawks both win their respective divisions, what needs to go right? Like if I were answering what it means for the city, monumental. Absolutely monumental. Really, really exciting, really amazing. Mariners haven't done it since 2001. That's going to be the first time in the lifetime that it's happened for a lot of individuals. Let's talk about, though, how they actually get there. I know my answer for both teams. I like that there's easy answers to this question.
Yeah.
Instead of lots of things have to go right. It's no, I can think of it. Why don't we each take a team? So do you want to take the Seahawks and just what's going to have to happen? If the Seahawks win the NFC West, it'll be because what? What ends up happening?
What's going to have to happen? I'm going to say the defense is a top 5 defense. I'll give them top 8. All right, give some wiggle room, right? Sam Darnold doesn't commit more than 10 turnovers, interceptions. I'm going to throw some fumbles in there. So let's say 12. No more than 12 turnovers. And you have JSN go for 1,000 yards, and Ken Walker plays at least 14 games this year. If that happens, I can see this team doing it. But you're going to need some help. You're going to need the 49ers to look old, and you're going to need the Rams to take a step back, especially when it comes to that defense. Both teams are going to need some help.
Yeah.
It's not just they're going to run away with this thing. They're going to need some help.
Yeah. I mean, both teams have pieces that could potentially help them rather than needing to go out and acquire them right now. Like, for instance, the Seattle Mariners don't need to go find an answer offensively. They have it on the team right now. They don't need to find an answer with pitching. They have it on the team right now, minus some depth concerns with the bullpen. But, like, I think that for me, the answer is if you're starting pitching, goes later into games, starts looking a little bit more like 2024. They're never going to replicate that, but starts looking a little bit more like 2024. I think this team can get to a World Series.
Okay. I'm with that.
Yeah.
I can buy in.
Again, you'd have to have the pitching return to like a pretty dominant
Actually,
form.
I don't buy into that. I'm not in yet.
Well,
World Series.
You're a hater.
I'm not a hater.
No, you're a realist, and I think that you are fairly looking at the version that the team has been, which is not a World Series team.
No.
But
competitive as heck.
Yeah.
Can win the division.
It's more of like a roll the dice, you never know situation for either team.
Anything can happen, though.
I'm going to keep reminding you guys that today's Mariners-Mets game can be heard in its entirety on AM 770, as well as the Seattle Sports app. Seahawks-Chiefs will air on 710, but if you have the app, you can download it, A. B, listen to either broadcast. Get the Seattle Sports app. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, the Seahawks take on the Chiefs tonight in their second preseason game. What's the real headline?
Or what I'm calling a Super Bowl preview.
How crazy would that be? If that actually goes down, which I doubt, we got to save this clip and give Stacy all of her flowers. This should be interesting today. You're not going to see any of the Chiefs starters, right? They are so established. They know who they are. They know who their guys are going to be. Hollywood Brown's going to be out there. I believe Rashee Rice is available as well. Patrick Mahomes, like they are set with their squad. More questions for the Seahawks, so we're going to see hopefully Sam Darnold, JSN, and the rest of the crew. No, this should be fun tonight. I'm excited. And like I said earlier this week, I want to see a lot of Jalen Milroe. I just want to see it. Sam, get your series. Drew Law, get 2 or 3 series, and then let Milroe just learn. Even if I want to see him throw an interception. You know why? Because he's pushing down the field, and then I want to see how he responds after that interception. I just want to learn more about Milroe. Do you have the quarterback of the future sitting on the bench, or is this a guy that you rotate through? Question for you.
Yes.
See if you know this.
Okay.
Who has drafted the most quarterbacks since 2000?
Of teams?
Yeah, what team?
Can I get 3 guesses?
Sure.
Since 2000. Browns?
No.
Titans.
Wow, it's not
No.
the Browns?
All right. You're never going to guess it.
Okay.
Is it the
drafted
Chiefs?
most quarterbacks. No. Shh. I get my 3rd. Drafted the most quarterbacks since. So I've got. It's not the Chiefs, Browns, or Titans.
the Commanders?
I got 29, 28 other teams. The Cardinals.
Nope. Curtis, you done?
You said never gonna guess, and I was trying to think like
Dolphins.
Nope.
Wait, let me get one more. Steelers.
Nope.
Who?
New England Patriots.
Really? Oh.
Crazy, right? You
Yeah.
got Thomas Brady
You're right,
for 20
I never would've
years,
guessed them.
and they're still drafting. Almost cursed. Sorry.
You
A
are
lot
right.
of quarterbacks.
You are correct. I would have guessed like 5 other teams at least before we even getting to them.
My guess was the Jets at first.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Yeah.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline 2. Last night, the Rainiers did not have Victor Robles, Luke Raley, or Harry Ford in their starting lineup. What's the real headline?
Either this is just a fun coincidence, or someone with the Rainiers is an expert troll. I hope it's the latter. I hope it was very intentional. They were like, it'd be funny.
Well, we spoke to Shannon. Shannon was like, nah, Harry Ford ain't coming up. Don't do that to that young man. With Luke and Robles, that's a real possibility right there. No, that'll be fun. Bring him back. I mean, we need it at this time. And we talked about a player on the Mariners yesterday who has been struggling. And I prefer to let him just relax and get his mind right and try something new. So, we'll see how that all goes down.
We're going to ask Ryan Rowland-Smith this question when he joins us at noon. And then we've got some Justin Hollander sound kind of answering or talking about the return of Raley and Miller coming up at 11:45. But Curtis, before we move to the next headline rewrite, what are some of the roster considerations that Dan and the crew are going to have to think about when they bring Rayleigh back on the strip.
Yeah, Rayleigh, you're going to need somebody. It'll likely be a bat that they send down. You're going to probably see, I know Mastrobuoni has options. If Dylan Moore is the guy that gets sent down, I don't think he has any options left. So if you did get Dylan Moore off the 26-man roster, you'd have to DFA him. Hope he clears waivers if you're hoping to keep on to it or keep hold of him. But I would say that Rayleigh and Canzone probably splitting time out in right field. Naylor's your all-time first baseman, I think, regardless of who is pitching against you. So, Canzone has definitely earned, and I think he should keep his spot in right field for the time being. But always good to have somebody like Luke Rayleigh who can play right field, who can play first base, who can DH for you. Just adding a little more flexibility to the lineup.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Big surprise in college football today. Michigan will not receive a bowl ban or forfeit any of their 2023 national championship season as a result of the NCAA's investigation into the program's sign-stealing operation. What's the real headline?
That'll teach them. That'll teach them.
This is like it's like when a rich kid gets in trouble.
Yeah.
And his dad knows the sheriff.
I'm
he
taking
knows
your Xbox for an hour.
the judge. This is ridiculous. They should be punished for this whole deal, man. They were clearly cheating. What is going on? Any other school, if it's not a blue blood, they're definitely in trouble.
The full penalties, as Curtis mentioned, a lot of these. Connor Stallions is restricted from athletically related activities during an 8-year show cause period. Oh, no. Connor Stallions can't be working
I don't
you.
think he's getting a job in college football ever
Jim
again.
Harbaugh, current head coach of the Chargers, has a 10-year restriction as well. So he can't be, I guess, coaching.
Can't coach in college anymore.
Oh,
no.
For a couple other people are facing the same thing, and then they have a $50,000 fine, which is like less than a fine that you get in the NFL for wearing the wrong shoes.
And then I think also part of their punishment is they have to forfeit postseason revenue if they were to make the college football playoff over the next 2 years. And it's like,
It's heartbreaking.
oh, darn.
Yeah.
A school like Michigan, whose athletic department is churning out hundreds of millions of dollars in profit, that's $20 million to them is nothing.
Reminds me a little bit of when at my last job, there was this person who was a very, very, very bad employee. Just openly kind of disrespectful, didn't care, would show up late to everything or no show. And the girl that was in charge of managing him was the nicest person. And even she was upset, and they brought him into the office to fire him. And she was like, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to tell him. And we were like, oh, yeah, we can't wait to hear about it. You go, girl. And the way that she told him off and really stuck it to him was reaching out to shake his hand and saying, I wish you the best moving forward. And we were like, so she told us about this afterwards. And we were like, wait, you thought that was really... that really got to
This
him.
is like, when you have those conversations in the shower, like what you should have said, what you should have done.
Oh, I love that.
This
She
is
was
what
so
it feels
great.
like. Oh, I should have said this. Yeah.
That's
If I could
exactly
do
what
this
it was.
again. Yeah.
The NCAA were like, we wish you, check this out, the best.
The best.
And what? Coming up at 11, ESPN's Buster Olney talks about the Little League World Series, Mariners and Mets in the Classic, and also, obviously, the Mariners competing in the American League, how realistic winning the American League is, and certainly winning the West. Coming up next, though, latest from Mike Macdonald and Sam Darnold.
If you haven't subscribed to Seattle Sports on YouTube,
It's amazing. We just got to keep hammering it home.
you're missing part of the game.
The rest is history.
There's so much more than what happens on the field.
This is the place I love.
Subscribe now for in-depth inside information with Brock and Salk.
The Mariners' hit rate was way higher than that.
Bump and Stacy,
Cal's like a coach out there.
Wyman and Bob.
One day, breaking that record would be pretty cool.
Stream it live with the local sports leader on YouTube, Seattle Sports.
Dave Wyman joined by a very special guest, Dr. Daniel Landis. He's on the Swedish CyberKnife team treating prostate cancer and accepting new patients. Dr. Landis, what could patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Where are your patients from?
We see patients from all over, patients from out of state, Alaska, Idaho, from all over the world, honestly, since it's such a short treatment.
How can someone get a hold of you?
Yeah, I would encourage patients to reach out to us directly. We'd be happy to schedule a consultation.
Thank you, Dr. Landis and the team at Swedish CyberKnife for the wonderful work they do. And remember, you don't need a physician's referral. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. That's swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
You're free now. Free to stream beyond your wildest dreams.
Rom-coms, slasher-coms, space operas.
Free to fill your feed with impossibly chonky chonkers.
Cats, corgis, babies on demand.
Free to make your smart devices do silly things.
Bowl of chips on the Robo-Vacuum.
Free to open a world of remote work and Gametopia.
Who's the boss now?
Free to be everything you imagine. That's how it feels to have Quantum Fiber Internet. Your world unleashed. Learn more at quantumfiber.com.
Limited availability, service in select locations only.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
You have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
we meet by accident, fixing every last dent. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last dent. Accurate Auto Body.
your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder. an equal housing opportunity builder.
Hey, college students, Safeway is giving you 5% off. That's right. Junior colleges, tech schools, universities, just verify your student ID in the app. Unlock exclusive deals and shop on the app or in person. Better yet, subscribe to Fresh Pass to get free delivery and other special offers. Remember, if you use EBT, Fresh Pass is 50% off and you get savings on fresh produce. For all the details, visit Safeway.com/4U. That's Safeway.com/FOR in the letter U.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in less than 30 minutes, ESPN's Buster Olney going to talk about the Little League Classic as well as obviously the Seattle Mariners and their upcoming series beginning today against the Mets. Before we get to that, let's take a quick look in on the Seattle Seahawks, who are taking on the Chiefs for preseason. Game 2 tonight at 7 p.m. Pregame show hosted by Michael Bumpus, coming your way at 5 p.m. We've got the latest from Mike Macdonald and Sam Darnold. That's harder than you think to say together quickly. It's taking everything in me not to say McDonald. But I
just combine the two.
I pray that you do.
No, that's why
the
I'm
gratification of the Seahawks.
I'm working really
offense.
hard not to do it. Some interesting stuff here, though. Let's start with Sam. He has something interesting to say about what success can do.
Yeah, because I think success sometimes can be more toxic than failure. Yep. You know, like I think my biggest thing right now is to keep that spark under my butt and keep going this year. And, continue to have that chip on the shoulder and really just work. I think that's the biggest thing is just work as hard as I can to put me and my teammates at the end of the day in a good position to win football games. That's all it comes down to. And so I work. That's the reason I work is because I want, myself, but more importantly, the guys next to me to trust me that I'll go out there and be able to do everything I can to help this team win.
The sound we're about to play, including that one from Sam Darnold, is from Marshawn and Mike Robb's Get Got podcast. Do you know how hard this is to say?
Get Got podcast.
Get Got podcast. I want to start with Sam's sound on that. I thought it was really, really interesting to talk about how success can be sometimes toxic and how sometimes success can put you in the wrong headspace. What do you think about that?
I think he has to look at it that way because he's being praised. He's being praised, but he's also being doubted at the same time. But for him, he's never had that type of success. Not in the NFL, in high school, in college, right? He was the guy, obviously. But you get to the NFL and you've had so much failure and you have a heightened amount of success. You played like a top 5 quarterback last year, and you can start drinking the Kool-Aid. But I also think it's important that he does take a sip of that Kool-Aid. You got to believe that you're that guy and you can do this again. But for me, when I have success, I gas myself up. I'm like, yeah, you did that. You can keep doing that. But what works for him is to, humble himself and realize that he's had a lot of failure in this league and that nothing is guaranteed. I understand where he's coming from. I think it's all contingent on the person himself or herself. Like what motivates you and what keeps you in the right mind, in the right space. So that's where he's operating from. Me, I will gas myself up. I won't internally. I will now to the public. I'll keep it cool, but yeah, I'll gas myself up because that's what works for me. For my kids, I will gas them up because that's what works for them. But for Sam, because he is a quarterback, because he's been in the league 7 years, because he saw Ghost, because he's played on 3 different teams, I think this is the right approach. If it feels good, then go for it.
You ever seen a ghost?
No, I felt a ghost though.
That's creepy.
You've never felt a ghost?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I got stung in the neck at nighttime and dark time one time by a bee, and that woke me up, and I thought it was like a ghost or a spirit, but it was just a bee. I'm going to go on to a few more cuts here that are far more relevant for the Seahawks, but I do want to say what this one made me think of a little bit, and I think it's because of the context of playing the Chiefs, but I thought about the Chiefs. And instead of thinking about what Sam Darnold's success last year means for his mindset going into this year, which is very interesting and is why they're having that conversation, I think my mind naturally went to how you remain successful when you've reached the top. I find that just psychologically interesting. In fact, to begin the show, when we were talking about cities that have had an NFL team win the division and an MLB team win the division in the same year, Kansas City, not one of the teams we were talking about, but I had like AFC division standings open in front of me for part of that segment. Chiefs every single year going back to 2016.
Yeah.
It's just
It's been that long,
it's
2016?
2016,
Dang.
every single year since then. And it's so interesting to me because I think that what very naturally happens when you get to the top of the mountain is A, you don't stay there, but B, you face a whole new set of challenges. Whether it's guys wanting to be paid, guys wanting the most credit, pointing to each other for mistakes, a different kind of competitiveness to stay at the top. I find it interesting, like from a human psychology standpoint. That's not necessarily what we're talking about here, but I just wanted to chime in with, hey, with the Chiefs visiting Seattle tonight, I'm kind of thinking about that, and I think it's interesting. Let's talk a bit about whether Sam, to Marshawn and Mike, has ever felt written off.
I don't know about that. No, I don't know about that. I know a lot of people, I know a lot of people didn't believe in me, still don't, which is fine. People are going to have their opinions, but at the end of the day, all that matters is the belief in this building, and the belief I have in myself. And those are the two things that matter to me. And, from what I can tell, that belief is really high.
So, again, has never felt written off, per se, but, yeah, certainly aware that a lot of people don't believe, but does think people in this building do. I think they do, too, Bump. What have you been hearing?
Yeah, they do. They wouldn't have gone after him the way that they had, or the way that they did, if they didn't believe in him. You're supposed to. And I just pulled up just the QB stats from last year. Mm-hmm. And, obviously, it starts at yards. And Sam Darnold threw for the 5th most yards in the game. Now, you don't do that by accident. You don't do that without talent. You don't do that without a bunch of things. You need personnel, you need coaching, and all that good stuff. But they should believe in him because he's shown that he can do it. Now, you got to prove it. Until you put together 3, 4, 5 seasons in a row, people are going to doubt you. I'm looking at, say, the top 10 quarterbacks just when it comes to yards, right? It took Brock Purdy 2 or 3 years before people really started believing in what he was doing. People still believe in Justin Herbert because of his physical talent. But if you're not in like the top 5 to 8 when it comes to just passing yards total, and you bounce in and out of that category when it comes to top 10, yeah, people are going to doubt you because there's only a few things in the NFL that are guaranteed. Mm-hmm. It's guaranteed Joe Burrow is going to be dope. It's guaranteed Pat Mahomes is going to keep this team, his team competitive. It's guaranteed Lamar Jackson is probably going to get some MVP votes. Everything else in the NFL is up and down, smiles and frowns. That's just the way it is. What's most important is that he believes in himself, and he has to do that, and there's reason for him to do it. He showed that he can do it last year. Lots of things need to happen. Play calling needs to be on point. O-line needs to perform. Receivers need to make plays for him. But he has a year of showing that he can do it. So, yeah, people are supposed to doubt him because he's only done it a year. And, yes, he's supposed to believe in himself because he genuinely went out and performed like a top 5 quarterback. But time will tell. This is the NFL, and we've seen quarterbacks be great and be horrible the next year. Hopefully that's not Sam Darnold.
There's so much good stuff in here from Mike Macdonald. Let's get to it at 1:30. He talks about who he hopes will have a big impact on Seahawks culture this year. He also talks about Jalen Milroe, has really good things to say. Given that we are going to see a lot from Milroe tonight, could be really good to just spend a good chunk of time on just Jalen. So let's get back to this at 1:30 because I know that there are a lot of Seahawks fans really excited about Jalen Milroe and what he could potentially do, and they're going to get a really big preview tonight. So while you will have a pregame show talking a lot about Jalen, we'll go ahead and get you started coming up at 1:30, and we'll go back and listen to a few of these cuts from Get Got. All right, we're going to have ESPN's Buster Olney joining us in less than 20 minutes. Coming up next, things are breaking in the right way for the Mariners, so how do they take advantage of it?
It's another important step in building the 2025 Seahawks.
The guys are on it. The intent's there.
Preseason game number 2. Seahawks Chiefs. Tonight, kickoff at 7. Pregame at 5. Meanwhile, the Mariners and Mets duel in the opener of a critical 3-game series in New York. Stay connected to the M's push for the playoffs on the Seattle Sports app. The Seattle Sports app lets you listen to both.
Holy catfish!
The home of the Mariners and the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
If you're 50 It's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? Well, if that's not reason enough, you don't risk the scary side effects or gaining the weight back as soon as you stop. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural, and it works.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
When your outside matches how you feel on the inside, that's kindness. And so I think that is the one thing that the Lee Johnson Auto family encourages us, is to be like really authentic and really be intentional in how we treat our customers and how we treat each other.
To have a good company, have a good culture, have a good crew that takes care of your customer base, you have to take care of your crew. You can't have miserable people and expect them to give a customer a good experience.
Walking in here, meeting some of the employees already before I was even hired on, welcoming me in, gave me a good indication what this company was all about. So if I were to make an hour and a half drive here and to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Little League World Series is happening right now. It started yesterday. A team from Bonnie Lake and Curtis, where's the team in New York? They're just outside where
Yeah, it's in Connecticut, Fairfield, Connecticut, I think.
It is kind of cool, though, because in the Little League Classic, you're going to have the Mariners taking on the Mets. And
it's basically Bonnie Lake against Connecticut.
That's how I'm thinking of it. So best of luck to the Bonnie Lake team. Shout out to them.
Yeah,
really,
my niece
cool.
plays softball for Bonnie Lake Sumner, so pretty cool to see them represent.
And it's just such a cool event. I'm excited to talk to Buster Olney, who's joining us in about 15 minutes, about just what it means for these kids to see. I mean, for a lot of them, they're heroes, like current favorite players. Going to be out there helping them out. Like Pete Alonso will be like playing with these kids. Cal Raleigh is going to be with these kids. It's just going to be so fun for them.
I coached when I coached high school football. I coached Redmond in 2010, and I coached Michael Conforto, who played at Oregon State and won a World Series with the Mets, I want to say, and he's now with the Dodgers. He played in the Little League World Series as well. There's always a team from Washington representing. I don't understand what's going on. This is not, you don't think of this as a baseball state, but Little League, they be getting it done.
Man, you don't think of it as a baseball state, baseball city until the Mariners get to the playoffs, and then everyone everywhere is like, it was 2022 is the coolest thing
Locked
ever.
in.
Yeah.
I watched the highlight of Cal the other day. It popped up randomly. I don't know where I was looking. I think maybe social media.
I'll watch it
and
every
I got
time.
the chills all over again. It's crazy.
It's like your favorite movie when you're like, you used to scroll through channels. Now that's not really how any streaming services work, but you used to scroll through channels and you'd be like, yeah, I'll watch the rest of this. That's how I feel if I'm scrolling through Twitter, scrolling through Instagram, and they're like, here's the Mariners breaking the drought in 2022. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch this.
Yeah.
I'll watch this highlight. But it did make me ask Curtis earlier, and now I'm going to ask you, if you were, let's say you actually got to like play in a Little League game with kids, you swinging full swing as hard as you possibly can?
Bombs.
A kid? Yeah.
Bombs.
I knew that you'd say that.
What?
That's what Curtis said. Curtis was like, sometimes I look at that field and I just think,
I could hit a tank
Right?
at the Little League World Series.
He's got to barely clip that thing. It is gone.
And those bats are like 20 ounces, if that.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like Pete Alonso and Cal Raleigh in the same event. If they were just
they might
taking
kill
a
somebody.
kid.
They can't swing that hard. Someone might die.
So Buster is going to join us in less than 15 minutes to talk a little bit about that, and then we've got a lot of questions about the Mariners for him. Let's talk about the Mariners. I wrote that things are breaking their way for this conversation. I know that they dropped 2 of 3 against the Orioles. They're a bad team this year. The Orioles are. It was really frustrating to see. Your offense didn't take off in any of these games. That being said, I think things are breaking their way. I think they have a really great opportunity here. The Phillies are going to be absolutely tough. The Mets are going to be tough. The Mets are solid at home. You're 30-30 on the road. They're favored in this series. But you're getting healthier as a team. You're probably going to get Miller back for his next start, which would be against the Phillies. You are presumably getting Rayleigh back. We're going to listen to some more sound from Justin Hollander here. This is a team that is getting healthier, getting reinforcements. And look, it's not like the Mets are raking.
No, the Mets are struggling right now.
The pitching is struggling too.
Yeah. Someone got mad at me yesterday because I said that's baseball. And they went in. They went in so hard on the text lines I didn't respond. I was like, all right, well, that person is having a tough day. And I'm going to say it again, that's just baseball. Like when something happens in football where there's an offsides or the ball bounces the other way after a fumble and the team who fumbles it scoops it up, that's football. When you walk into a room and your belt loop on your pants gets stuck in the door sometimes, that's life.
I'm going to say that's baseball. Every time that happens to me from now on, or like I drop something or spill something, I'm just going to go, that's baseball.
Like there are things that are inevitable in any sport. Good teams are going to lose to bad teams. Bad teams are going to be good teams. bad teams have pitchers that are just hot that day, hitting all their spots. Good teams have batters who just can't make any type of contact. It's so random. You control the randomness to the best of your ability by putting together a roster that can more likely or most of the time go out there and execute. So, those things are going to happen. Would I be surprised if the Mets win a game? No, I wouldn't be surprised. They got Juan Soto over there. They got Alonso over there. Like they got some guys. Just because they've lost 7 games, 8 games in a row doesn't mean that they're not likely to go out there and just catch fire and have themselves a good day, because we're talking about sports. We're talking about human beings and the randomness of life in baseball. So we expect them to win this series. We should, and I think they can, because they control some of the randomness by the lineup that they put out there, by the arms that they have on the mound. And I'm looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to the bounce back. I love to see how teams bounce back after they've done something that we felt like they shouldn't have done.
I do think the offense can bounce back in this one. Again, the Mariners are 30-30 on the road. They are not a phenomenal team on the road. They have certainly not looked good offensively against the Orioles, a worse team than the Mets. That being said, I think the Mets are facing some questions about their bullpen, about their pitching. You've got Luis Castillo against Sean Manaea today, but like yesterday, that game against the Braves, Mets give up 2 runs in the top of the 8th. Braves end up winning that game 4-3. You know what I mean? Like they've had some, I wouldn't call that a gut-punching loss, but they've had some games get away from them when they probably should win, and I'm hoping that that's what we see in this one. I hope, for instance, that we see Gino get into the swing of things. No pun intended. I hope we see Cal, who started climbing out of a rut with 3 home runs in 3 consecutive games, but hasn't totally come out of that yet. I hope we start to see some more of that. Maybe it was a much-needed off day yesterday.
Yeah.
Minus pinch hitting.
Yeah. You could, and
the Mets have allowed the most walks of any team in baseball.
There we go. There's some things that this team has done over the past month, or let's say 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, that makes your hope a bit more realistic, right? There are some teams or some times over the past couple of seasons where you hope they go on a run, you need them to go on a run, but deep down inside you're like, they're probably not going to do it.
Yeah,
with this squad, they can genuinely go on a run. We've seen the Dodgers lose like 5-6 games in a row. We've seen the Yankees do it. Every team that is considered to be a contender has gone on losing streaks before. So it's about the bounce back, man. And why not do it on the East Coast? For some reason, I feel like they haven't been a great road team. I'm not sure, but I feel like the Mariners have not been great. I think they're hovering around 500. Yeah, so, it is what it is.
The Mariners and Mets are competing in the 2025 Little League Classic on August 17th. Oh, and also competing this weekend in a 3-game series that starts tonight. We're going to talk about both with ESPN's Buster Olney next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
Josh Naylor's hit the ground running. The defense has been something I did not even think about. If it's possible, I would be knocking on the door, calling the phone, sending the emails with his agent. And I think if they are able to go on a deep run in the postseason, that could go a long way into selling Seattle to him if it needs to be sold.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-298-7906. 800-298-7906.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Big year. I'm starting middle school.
Welcome to the jungle, Missy.
Best part? My parents promised me a new laptop.
Perfect for homework, essays, and drudgery.
So we went to Staples. They had all the latest tech, and laptops were up to 40% off.
Woo! Another back-to-school budget saved by Staples Easy Button.
Mom high-fived the cashier. So embarrassing.
Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. In 23 select models only.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Looking for an epic summer night in Seattle? Be here for the Mariners Drone Show at T-Mobile Park, Friday, August 22nd, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
It is Grand Salami time! Cal Raleigh with his third Grand Slam of the season.
The team is taking on the A's at 7:10, and after the game, we'll be lighting up the sky with hundreds of drones, celebrating Mariners icons past and present. Don't miss out on a jaw-dropping post-game show.
He got him! He puts him away! And the ball game is over. Another phenomenal save by Andres Munoz.
Head to Mariners.com to grab your seats and see the full lineup of special events, including Kids Appreciation Day, Sunday, August 24th, and the Logan Gilbert Funko Pop giveaway, September 8th to 10th. Plus, check out a great slate of marquee interleague matchups against the Padres, Cardinals, and Dodgers.
Julio clubs this deep out to left field and gone. Julio for the second time.
Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Seattle, your waterfront park is here. Celebrate the opening of 20 acres of world-class public space on the downtown shoreline at the grand opening celebration September 6th. Enjoy free live performances, family activities, cultural experiences, and more across the entire park, from Overlook Walk to Pier 62. Join Friends of Waterfront Park in the city of Seattle for this once-in-a-generation event. Be part of history. Plan your visit at waterfrontparkseattle.org.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series finale against the Orioles, but who cares about that? We're moving on. Seattle opens a series today against the Mets. Luis Castillo on the mound tonight against Sean Manaea. The Mariners are 30-30 on the road, looking to improve on that record, obviously. Mets are favored in this one, but their pitching has struggled a bit of late. Will we see Seattle's offense bounce back? Sam Darnold and the Seahawks take on the Chiefs at 7 p.m. tonight right here on Seattle Sports. Pregame starts at 5 p.m.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. ESPN's Buster Olney joining us now in the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. We are going to get to a lot of questions about the Seattle Mariners on a very, very exciting streak here. I know the win streak didn't continue, but a lot to talk about. We're going to start, though, Buster, with the 2025 Little League Baseball World Series. Now, it began Wednesday. All games are going to be from Williamsport, Pennsylvania from August 13th to 24th, and this is something that I know we were so excited for. There's a team from Bonnie Lake, which is really, really cool. Just help set the scene for us a little bit with just how excited you are for the stretch of play here over the next week.
Yeah, it's a really cool event. The Little League Classic. I don't do the Little League coverage, the coverage of the Little League World Series, but I've been doing the coverage for the Little League Classic with the two major league teams dropping in for the last 7 years. And Stacy, there's no question. Just knowing players that haven't covered baseball for a long time, I'm sure that when the players see this on their schedule, they're like, "Oh man!" So we gotta in the middle of the dog days of August, we gotta get on a plane and go to the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania. And then when they arrive, it is a blast, and they have absolute fun. The other day, I was talking with Francisco Lindor, the Met shortstop, who's going to be there this weekend, and he talked about how when you talk to kids, you're reminded why you fell in love with baseball in the first place. And so what happens is that the Mets and the Mariners will fly in to the little airfield that they have there in Williamsport, and then they get put on a bus, the major leaguers, with little leaguers. And they pretty much spend the next 4 or 5 hours with little leaguers. And, and a lot of these little leaguers, some of them will be shy, but a lot of them won't be. And they'll be asking Cal Raleigh, "Hey, what do you think of your nickname? What does your mom think of your nickname?" And Lindor was saying that the players will propose trades of stuff, and they'll look at him and say, "I'll trade you my glove for your glove. Does that sound like a good swap? Aww. And can I have your wristbands? Can I?" And it is just so joyful. And you'll see players this weekend, probably some of the Mariners jumping on that cardboard and going down that side hill, sliding down the side hill to the Little League complex. And then when the actual game starts, and Major League Baseball really has done a good job of upgrading condition of Bowman Field there in Williamsport. Once the game starts, it's such a unique atmosphere because we're all used to, 3 decked stadiums that have a particular sound, a mix of adults and some kids when something happens in the game. And I'm telling you, just sitting there, the first time somebody hits the ball in the air, it is this sound of 10 to 12-year-olds going, "Ooh," when the ball goes up in the air. It's really fun. And, these kids get to be, a couple feet away from Julio Rodriguez and from Cal Raleigh and from Louis Castillo and from Juan Soto and Lindor. I mean, it really is a special event.
Buster, you talk about just kind of the wholesomeness of this event, but it's also a game that matters a lot to both of these teams in the standings because the Mariners trying to chase down the Astros in the West and also hold their lead in the AL wild card. The Mets also trying to avoid going into a complete free fall here. This Mariners team, what have you made of them over the last couple of weeks since the trade deadline, especially that 8-game win streak in the middle of all that?
So just real quick about the Mets, and you're right about the pennant race. I bet you that the Mets players are popping champagne bottles this weekend that they have this game in Williamsport because in New York, it's so negative right now. Excuse me, I got a bit of a cold. It's so negative in New York, and it's not to say that the Mets fans are doing anything wrong or different, but it's just an intense reaction when a team is in free fall the way the Mets are. So to get out and to go to Williamsport and having a bunch of kids oohing and awing when you hit a pop fly, it'll be a nice respite for them. Now, with the Mariners, it's like they have pixie dust sprinkled on them. It really does feel that way since they made that first trade for Josh Naylor, since not only Jerry DiPoto but ownership signaling that they were kind of all in on this run down the stretch by what they gave up at the trade deadline. it's a dramatic shift. And I think on paper, it's the best Mariners lineup, which has always been the question. They usually have good pitching, but it's the best Mariners lineup since 2001, which is saying something. Yeah. And especially that this is happening, they're with this surge, is happening in a year in which the American League is so stinking wide open. And there are no dominant teams. The Astros, who I have a ton of respect for because they've been playing with a bunch of injuries, they still have to overcome the loss of Josh Hader now. And, we'll see if Yordan Alvarez gives them anything. The Tigers have been slumping of late, as you know. I think Toronto's a good team. They put the ball in play, but they're not a dominant team. I mean, it is wide open for the Mariners to make their first run of the World Series.
Hey, Buster, first of all, we listen to Baseball Tonight all the time. So obviously we're used to just hearing your coverage of these teams. And I will say it's always fun to hear, whether it's you guys, maybe it's SportsCenter or whatever, when the Mariners become a national story. And that's on the Mariners' part. It's not like a lack of media attention. It's you don't make the playoffs for, 21 years and then make it and don't get back. You're not going to get a ton of coverage. But you're right. It feels like within that sprinkling of pixie dust, there's just so many fun stories. There's just, Cal Raleigh inching past Rooker in the home run derby to then go on and win it all in a season that we've never seen before from a catcher. It's just, it feels storybook, and it's hard not to feel like something cool is destined to happen with this team, or really cool could happen with this team.
Right. The Hall of Fame stuff.
It's
timing of it.
It's like you wrote up a story for the Mariners season and you're watching it happen. So how do they actually get there? I mean, you watch a lot of these teams. Every single year you see teams that end up making it. You can recognize the formula for what kind of team ends up going pretty far. What needs to happen for Seattle?
So it's interesting. A few years ago, when they were kind of pushing up against the glass ceiling for them, which is the Houston Astros, I remember talking to Jerry about it, DePoto, and he mentioned that he thought that the young players on the team at that time had to learn how to beat the Astros in big games. That was the next part of the learning curve. I think they're past that. I think it comes down to from this, especially with the rotation becoming intact next week with the return of Bryce Miller. It feels like they're the most talented team right now. Like, they have a deep lineup. There's a lot to love about this team. Robles coming back, that's going to be a help. It'll give more options for Dan Wilson. And that's why, when you look at a team like the Cincinnati Reds, for example, you have to sort of envision this, or the Diamondbacks in the World Series 2 years ago, or Texas, this sort of magical road that they go down to make it. I don't think the Mariners need that. I think they're the best team on paper. Like, they are a loaded team compared to where some of the other American League teams are. So you hope, obviously, for good health. You hope that, whatever, and I'm looking forward to seeing Cal this weekend and asking about his recent hitting. I'm not surprised that he's gone into a slump because he's, playing every day and catching, and it's a hard position to play. But I do think, assuming that he comes back and finishes better than what he's been over the last month, they're the team to beat to me in the American League, which sounds kind of nuts because they're sitting in second place as we speak.
Buster, a big reason for the Mariners' surge has been the play of Julio Rodriguez, especially since the All-Star break. Choosing to sit out the All-Star break, which everybody's kind of scratching their head about, but turns out it was really beneficial for him because he has been just hitting like gangbusters since then. What have you made of his second half of the season and how it's really been a big spark to this Mariners offense?
We kind of know who he is right now, right? So next April, if he's batting 190 early in the year, I think we go, well, it's coming eventually. He's a great player. And I had a conversation in the offseason that really opened my eyes quite a bit with Mark Teixeira, a longtime big leaguer, who was historically a slow starter. And I asked him about Julio and about his own tendency to be a slow starter. He said, you know what I found? He said, there are some hitters, who wake up on a given day, and Ichiro is probably one of these people. You could probably wake him up at age 78 and, send him up as a pinch hitter. He's going to hit a line drive to left field. Just some people are built that way. And Teixeira said, I had to relearn how to hit every year. And I kind of wonder if Julio is just going to be one of those players, and that's okay. Every player goes through their different process. But look, when Julio is at his best, and that has been typically in the second half of the years. He is an impact player. And here's the thing. What's great for him and for Cal is that if they don't get it done on a given day, and it felt like a couple of years ago when the Mariners were in the playoffs that if Julio didn't get it done, they were kind of, out of luck. Now it feels like there are a lot of guys who can, Josh Naylor is a great clutch hitter. He's a great proven hitter. He can, carry the load for a week for a stretch of games. Suarez obviously is capable of doing that. It's a much deeper lineup than we've seen from the Mariners in a long time.
Hey, kind of a twofold question here. It's on the one half about the MVP race, but it's mostly just about Cal and historically kind of putting into context what he's doing. Buster, I think that people who love and cover baseball really love history, and someone doesn't have to have the most obscene numbers you've ever seen for you to look at it and go, wow, I'm seeing something I might never see again, or that I've certainly never seen before, and I think that's what we're seeing with Cal. So, two-part question here. I'm sorry for the double barrel question, but I'm really curious to know over the course of the season, the conversations you've had with people around baseball, because we hear all the time from people here in Seattle about Cal, but what's kind of been the sentiment around baseball and the conversations you've had outside of Seattle about Cal? And secondly, does that historic context of what he's doing become a factor in an MVP race?
So, first and foremost, people ask me all the time which team I root for. And I always say, I don't root for anybody. What I do hope for are good stories and for good stuff to happen to good people. And Cal is kind of both, right? I don't really know him. We're not going to pretend like we're, like I know him really well, but everybody you talk to talks about what a good person he is. And how grounded he is. I've enjoyed my interplay with him. I talked to the guys at the Home Run Derby. They talked about how gracious he was. You do wonder if, a lot of that, getting the media attention kind of wears him out. Teams are aware of that. But either way, it's been a phenomenal season for him. And, yeah, his numbers have come back. There's no question at the All-Star break, he was having the greatest season ever for any catcher in the history of baseball statistically. Now, because the numbers have come back, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case, but it is so rare to see a dominant offensive performance from a dominant defensive catcher. Mike Piazza was a marvelous hitter. He was a number 3 hitter for the New York Mets. He made the Hall of Fame, but he was never regarded as a high-end defensive catcher. Johnny Bench was. The Johnny Bench, for me, is kind of the standard in baseball history. And what Cal Raleigh's doing this year is up there with what Johnny Bench did, in his best years in the early 70s with the Big Red Machine. So it's neat to see him having that. And again, because I've always heard what a great guy is, you're happy that he's having that moment.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Buster, the Mariners pitching staff has obviously, it's been led by Brian Wu this season, but obviously Logan Gilbert has been fantastic in the past, and this year, bouncing back from that injury, his strikeouts are way up. Luis Castillo has been solid as ever. George Kirby's starting to look like himself again. You mentioned the looming return of Bryce Miller. They're going to be playing some big games here down the stretch, games that are going to matter a lot in the standings. If you had to give the ball to any one of these guys in a win-or-go-home scenario, who would you want out on the mound to give you at least a good 6 or 7 in that game?
See, I was going to deflect that question and say, boy, Dan Wilson has some really tough choices coming up in the postseason, and he does, right? Where there's no question, like Brian Wu, I think that based on what we've seen this year, that's typically how, you would say he would be the guy. But do you go against the Logan Gilbert with his career basically of dominance? Do you go against the Luis Castillo with his experience that he has? Look, when I covered those Yankee teams in the late 90s, you had Roger Clemens, you had Andy Pettit, and you had David Cohn, Joe Torre, David Wells. Joe Torre had to navigate those choices because sometimes it's not only about who's the best pitcher, it's also kind of a political thing in the clubhouse. And so Andy Pettit at times was the most effective pitcher, but he also understood what it meant for someone like Roger to get the ball in game 1, and so he would go with that. And I am really curious to see what Dan chooses. I'm going to be the nerd who says I'm going to go on the numbers, and I would pick Brian Wu right now, but there's a I mean, every one of those guys can make a great case. And it's certainly, if you're in the Mariners position, you love the fact that a couple of those guys are going to go in the bullpen once you're in the playoffs.
Yep. Mariners and Mets facing off at Bowman Field in Williamsport on August 17th. You can catch the broadcast on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. He is ESPN's Buster Olney. Thanks, Buster.
Thanks, Buster.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Have a good one. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
You guys all heard that, right? Just making sure everyone heard Buster, his response to Curtis's question. Wow.
Didn't even finish the question.
No.
He got the wow.
He was
Impressive.
floored.
Good job. First down. What two Seahawks are neck and neck in a position battle?
Derek Young and Jake Bobo. These guys have been fighting for 2 or 3 seasons now. And with the emergence of Horton, I wouldn't call it the emergence, but the addition of Horton, it puts more pressure on these guys to do the little things, to run down on kickoff and make the tackles, to be a gunner or whatever they are on punt return. They need to be on every special team to make this team. I think one of these guys aren't going to be here when it comes down to the 53-man roster. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm looking at these two matchups, or this matchup, and they're the same. They are a bigger type of receiver that have shown they can tackle, that they can be special teams guy, but you got to make a play or two during the preseason. Derek Young has made the biggest play so far in the pass game, a 31-yard reception. Jake Bobo, I believe, has 2 receptions, not that big. So, no, that's a battle, and it's unfortunate because both these guys are capable of being on this ball club or maybe another team. If one of these guys were not to be here, they are going to get picked up immediately if they are cut. But that is a matchup you should watch. Who's going to make the bigger plays, not just on offense, but on special teams as well? Jake Bobo and Derek Young.
Second down. What play are you looking forward to seeing tonight?
Real simple. Play action. I want to see play action with Sam Darnold. Last year, the Vikings were 3rd in the NFL with 159 play action attempts, right? 1,400 yards. You got to go all the way down to 28, 29, and that's where the Seahawks were. 89 play actions. 89 to 159. So clearly that's going to be big for Sam Darnold in his development. And then you look at New Orleans, they were somewhere in the middle, around 115 play action attempts. That's where Kubiak is coming from. So that's what I want to see. We know they want to run the football with Olney, with Martinez, maybe Zach Charbonnet or Ken Walker tonight get a couple of carries. The run game is going to set everything up. And Sam Darnold has shown he is most effective when he is under center and using a play action. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm going to chart how many times they do play action with Sam Darnold. If he only plays a series, then it's probably going to be like 2 or 3 times. But overall, I'm going to chart how many times that the Seahawks do play action because it's going to be big. So, yes, play action. Minnesota Vikings last year, 159 of those things. Wow. Top in the league was Detroit with 220. After that was the Rams with 170. There's a common trend here. Those teams that play action the football a lot win a lot of ball games. So let's see what they do with Sam Darnold today. If we do see him, I hope we do.
Third down. Speaking of Sam Darnold, we talk a lot about Sam needing a prove-it year, but who else needs one?
You know, I wrote this question, and when I was done, I started questioning myself, like, does he need a prove-it year, really? Like, does he?
That's great.
But Baker Mayfield, last year, 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 4,500 yards. The year before that with Tampa Bay, 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. With the Cleveland Browns, had years of 27-14, 22-21, 26-8. I believe in Baker Mayfield, but I think the league is still, or fans still question whether he is a top-tier quarterback or not. And I hope he goes out and he proves everybody wrong, man. I like Baker Mayfield. I didn't necessarily like him coming out of college. I thought maybe he was doing a bit too much. He was trying too hard. But then I realized this is just who Baker Mayfield is when it comes to his personality. So I accept him for who he is. I appreciate you, Sam Darnold. Baker Mayfield. But no, I want to see if he can do it again. I don't expect 41 touchdowns. It's rare that a quarterback throws for 40-plus touchdowns. He's still going to have Mike Evans over there. He has a Mecca from Ohio State who's from Steilacoom. He's going to be on the squad as well. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be backing him up. Maybe he can assist in his development. But no, Baker Mayfield, man, go out there and do your thing. I'm going to watch you this weekend if you do get some playing time. But Sam has to prove it. And Baker Mayfield kind of has to prove it. I think he's going to be in the league for another 5, 6, 7 years because he's a good quarterback, a solid one. With 41 touchdowns last year, how do you back that up?
The Saints are not going to be good this year. Who's going to be, if anyone, challenging Tampa Bay for the division lead? Because I look at it and I go, wow, it feels like the stage is really set for Baker to be able to do what you're asking him to do. That being said, maybe the Panthers are improved with Bryce Young. Maybe Michael Penix Jr. is the big difference for a Falcons team that does have a lot of talent in theory, a lot of high draft picks at least. Between the two, which one do you think gives the biggest challenge to Tampa Bay?
ATL all day. I think Penix is going to assert himself as one of the better quarterbacks in the league, not elite, but one of the better ones. He's got some weapons over there. Bijan Robinson doesn't get the respect he deserves across the league. I think he's a top 5 running back in this game, and they got some weapons. So no, I'm looking at the Atlanta Falcons. They should be the ones to challenge them.
4th down. Which offensive lineman needs to have a good day?
Christian Haynes needs a day. I think Anthony Bradford has a step on him right now, but Christian Haynes, last year they talked about how he's not fully developed yet as a man, as a human being, right? He still has a little baby fat on him. He's still wet behind the ears a little bit. So Christian Haynes needs to have a day. And they think he's going to get a lot of playing time. We're going to see May out there as well. We're going to see Sandell, Drell, Josh Jones. That's going to be your second kind of wave when it comes to these offensive linemen. But it's time for Christian Haynes to kind of step up and assert himself. This is an opportunity. We talk about the right guard position in the battle that's going to be there. So far, you got Anthony Bradford, Christian Haynes, Jalen Sandell, and Mason Richmond fighting for that spot. The thing about Christian Haynes is that he should be able to play both guard positions and even be a backup center if need be. That's where Sandell comes in, because we've seen him at the center spot, at a guard spot as well. Versatility is key. So Christian Haynes, look for this young man to get a lot of playing time today. He was a 3rd-round pick in 2024, 6'2", 318, number 64. You watch for Christian Haynes and see what he does.
I do think it's, speaking of Christian Haynes and Bradford, I'd love to see someone pull ahead in that battle. I know we were just talking about this the other day, but I was writing up our questions that we had. So I was like, we have 3 new questions about the Seahawks as of August. At the time, it was like August 13th. We have 3 new questions about the Seahawks and 1 old question. The old question was obviously, hey, what's going on at right guard? So I was Googling, more about the battle. What's the latest? Is anyone hurt? Whatever. And I pulled up an article from August 21st, exactly this time last year, pretty much, where it was about the open competition between Bradford and Haynes. I'm like, you do not want a 2026 version of this article.
Yeah.
You do not. Having a 2025 version, fine. It's okay. A lot of teams have a position on their offensive line they're still ironing out. You've got 2 young guys. Okay, I'll allow a repeat, a redux, but you better not have a 2026 column on SeattleSports.com with the exact same position battle happening in August between Haynes and Bradford.
Yeah, that would be disappointing. Someone take the position.
Someone do it.
Someone step up. Let's go.
Someone has to win. Someone has to do it. A reminder that today's Mariners-Mets game can be heard in its entirety on AM 770 as well as the Seattle Sports app. Meanwhile, the Seahawks-Chiefs game is going to air right here on 710 as well as on the app. If you have any confusion whatsoever, I have an answer. Just download the Seattle Sports app. It's easy, it's free, and you're going to be able to find both broadcasts. So, again, 770 to hear the Mariners in their entirety. That way you don't have to change the station. 710 to hear the pregame show with Bump and the guys at 5, and then kickoff at 7 between Seahawks-Chiefs. The Seattle Sports app all the time, but most especially for this because you can switch between broadcasts. You can very easily find both. All right, coming up next, a head football coach is going viral for his comments on the NIL era.
It's another important step in building the 2025 Seahawks.
The guys are on it. The intent's there.
Preseason game number 2. Seahawks Chiefs. Tonight, kickoff at 7. Pregame at 5. Meanwhile, the Mariners and Mets duel in the opener of a critical 3-game series in New York. Stay connected to the M's push for the playoffs on the Seattle Sports app. The Seattle Sports app lets you listen to both.
Holy catfish!
The home of the Mariners and the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. But what about when you want to sell your car? Of course, you want to get the most money possible, but how do you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Well, that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. Seriously, they've already given back over $800,000 to their customers. It is such a great offer, and I know exactly what you're thinking right now. Okay, sure, but how are they able to do it? It's not a consignment. You get paid for your car right away. Wayscar Ford pays you right up front. They buy your car for fair market value. No more insurance, no more maintenance, no more storage. They pay you half the profit when they resell your car. That's it. Get the most money possible for your old car at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn and let them do the work. That's wayscarford.com.
Dave Wyman joined by Dr. Daniel Landis from Swedish CyberKnife. Dr. Landis, when treating prostate cancer, what can patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnife prostate.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. and even more with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program. The homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Brought to you by Integrated Rehabilitation Group.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Bump, I think a lot of listeners are going to really like our first story in The Timeline because this is a popular take that I've seen when it comes to the transfer portal and the NIL era of college sports. Northern Illinois head football coach Thomas Hammock has gone viral for his strong comments about coaching in the NIL era. As a tiny bit of background, his Huskies lost, I think, like 19 or 20 players to the portal following 2024. So probably like what a lot of, for that matter, fans of any school, but especially for a school where guys might use you of like, we had a good year, now we're going to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of fans already of Northern Illinois, much less of the coaching staff, that are just frustrated with the number of players that are entering the portal. So first, Coach Hammock spoke about what athletes are missing out if they chase money.
I told our team the other day, we lost all these guys. Let's see who plays. So it's all good when people put it on Twitter, hey, all glory to God, I'm going in the transfer portal. Let's see if they play. How many of those guys going to play or travel or get snaps? I was going to tweet something the other day, a picture of me, and say, you know what? I enjoyed my college experience. I didn't get one dime, but the lessons I learned was more valuable than any money you can ever pay me. And I appreciate that because that is long term. People are losing the fact that this is short term. I coached in the National Football League for 5 years, right? Don't lose focus of what the long term. Get your degree. Learn valuable lessons that's going to help you in the long term of your life. That's the whole purpose. This is a transition from being a kid to a grown-up. And I hope people don't lose focus of that.
And Hammock is speaking from experience. He was a running back at Northern Illinois, ran for over 1,000 yards in 2 seasons, ended up having his career cut short because of a heart condition, has been on an NFL coaching staff with John Harbaugh and the Ravens, obviously now a head coach with Northern Illinois. He continued to talk about what college has meant.
Everybody's talking about everything else besides what is the most important thing for going to college. Because if you're going to college to go get a couple dollars, you might as well go get a job. This is too hard to go get a couple dollars. Learn the lessons that you need to learn to be successful in life for the next 40 to 50 years of your life. I would do it again for free, because of the things I learned. That's why I'm standing here today, because of what I learned in college, not because of how much somebody gave me. That's what I would tell people. And parents, they need to learn that lesson too. Stop trying to live through your kids. Teach your kids what are the things they need to learn to be successful. That's what I'm telling my kids. I don't care about no NIL, no revenue share. I can care less. You need to learn things in college to get you prepared for life, to be a father, a husband, to work, everything else. Those are the most important things. That's what people are missing, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
I find this debate really interesting because his opinion is, in his defense, one of experience. I've been a college athlete. I was a really productive college athlete. I didn't get paid for that. I've been in the league. It didn't work out for me. I know exactly what it would be like to have wished that you had money because your NFL career didn't take off. I also think there are a lot of people with college playing experience who disagree. I don't know, Bump, what do you think?
This is such a tough one.
It's tough.
Because a lot of these players are transferring or hitting the portal because of promises of money, right? Getting money. Now, me, for example, mom raised me by herself, worked a lot, did the best she could. If I were a kid in a position to where I could send money to my mom and help her out and pay some bills and make her life easier, as the man of the house at a young age, I'm probably going to do it because my mom has supported me throughout my life. And if I could ease her struggles a little bit, I'm going to do it. There's a financial gain for that. 1.6% of college players make it to the NFL. A lot of these guys who are hitting the portal, who are getting this money, and it might be a small amount compared to what guys are getting. It might be $100,000, right? to us, to adults, $100,000 ain't much, right? Because of bills and all that stuff. It can help you, but in the long run, it's not much. But for an 18, 19, 20-year-old, you don't know their circumstances, where they're coming from, how their mom or dad are living. They're going to take that opportunity to help out. So I get that. I also hear where coach is coming from, is that I learned a lot in college. I learned a lot about myself, about responsibility, about how to deal with people that I like, that I don't like. You do learn these lessons. So these guys are in a tough position because most of them aren't going to make these millions of dollars that guys are making in college and in the NFL. So when they got a chance to move, they move. And also, a lot of guys get stuck behind players. I know this guy, his name is Greg Prater. I played with him in college. He was stuck behind one of the greatest wide receivers to play at Washington State, Jason Hill. Jason Hill got drafted in the 3rd round, played in the NFL for 4 or 5 years for the Niners and whatnot. He was stuck behind him. Greg could have played. He was good enough to play for Washington State. Maybe would have got a chance in the NFL, but he's stuck behind Jason Hill. So if he had the opportunity to move, I would tell him, go to a different school so you can play. So it's hard to just lump everything into one category and say, well, you should stay, you should grind through this and learn about yourself. In some cases, you should. In other cases, if you're stuck behind a baller and you want to go play, go to a different school. In some cases, if you are poor, you ain't got no money, and your mom's just struggling, and you are I'm old school. I think a man should be the provider and the protector, and you can do that at a young age for your mom or your dad or whatnot. You go ahead and do it. So coach is spitting facts, but there are also certain circumstances where I would encourage kids to leave, and I would encourage kids to go get that bag.
I think within it is a lesson that doesn't have to be learned the same way for everyone. I think that's how I see it. The lesson is working through obstacles, working through failure can make you a stronger person. I think that's fundamentally true.
Yeah.
No matter where you are in life, no matter what you're doing, failing, bouncing back from it can make you a better, stronger person. And there have been people that I've met as adults where, they struggle with certain things and you go, oh, you've never had to struggle. Like you've never struggled a day in your life. And so here you are in your 20s and your 30s, maybe even in your 40s, not quite knowing how to handle something. So I think what he's saying is fundamentally true.
Yeah.
To your point, which I think is a great one, that working through an obstacle doesn't have to look the same for every single player. For some guys, it might be, you lost this job and now you've got to earn it back with this team. And your team has a chance to be great. And staying here and learning about teamwork and commitment can really do a lot for you. For someone else, like the great example you gave out with your friend who, like, probably could have gotten more reps somewhere else, and that drastically changes the outcome of your own career. If most people were at a job, because that's what this industry is, if you're at a job and another job came in and you had no real commitment to that job and they were like, hey, we're going to pay you more to come here, and it was all things otherwise being equal, you'd be like, okay. Like, I think that maybe the average person would probably understand that in a way that maybe they wouldn't when it's someone playing for your school. So, yeah, I think he's right in that there are really important lessons athletes can learn by failing and by struggling. I don't know that he's totally right in that entering the transfer portal isn't the way to solve it for every single person. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think the majority need to stick it out, and fight through it, because most of y'all ain't going to the NFL anyway.
Yeah.
But in some cases, man, you can change. Here's the thing. There have been lives and careers that have changed by hitting the portal and having that option to go somewhere else, make some money, and get an opportunity. Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at Cam Ward, Incarnate Ward to Washington State, University of Miami.
Yeah.
If he stayed at Washington State, he would not have been the number 1 pick in the draft. He could have put up 5,000 yards and 35 touchdowns because he's at Washington State. He ain't gonna get the number one pick in the draft. So coach is spitting facts, so I feel him. I think what he's saying applies to 85% of the kids who are hitting the portal, but for that 15 is a different story.
Well, and for someone else, for a different player, it might have ended up shaping his journey in a really different way. If Torrey Horton isn't at Colorado State and instead he's at Ohio State, like maybe he's getting a ton more attention. Is he the number 1 guy? Is he like the core of the offense with that? I don't know. So does he have, I'm sure, the skills he's developed now entering a tough training camp battle to be able to work his way up? You know, if he's handed everything versus coming off a tough knee injury and an overlooked program, I don't know. So, like, for him, that might have ended up really working out, even though it means he slipped to the 5th round and maybe in another world could have gone a little bit higher. All right. Former number 1 NBA pick Zachary Risauche, which I know has a tough last name because Curtis had to write down how to pronounce it for me. Yet again, proof that I failed French. I'm sorry. ESPN NBA analyst Udonis Haslem gave it his best shot.
Now you have everything you need. You go out and you go get Kennard, who's 44% from three. You make the trade for Porzingis. You got your young coin, Jalen Johnson, and Rosh Hashanah, however you say his name, excuse me, I'm sorry, Zachary Rashashi. You have all these pieces. Now, are you going to make Atlanta? Listen, I messed up his name. I'm sorry. Listen, don't be mad at me, Kirk. I took a page out your book.
That was brutal.
That's all good. Well, listen, I took a page out your book, Perk.
I've totally messed up names before. I do it all the time. Sometimes you know how to say a name and you still say it wrong, and you're like, why did I say it that way? Like, why was I reading it, Haslem? What was I struggling over? Like, it happens. But correcting it to Rosh Hashanah is objectively funny.
Rosh Hashanah.
Objectively funny. It's not even like
holiday.
Yeah, it's not even like a made-up word. You corrected it to religious holiday, a real word.
He just went with the familiar. Like, I know
sure
that.
did.
I know what that word is.
From now on, it's Zachary Rosh Hashanah, and that's canon. I don't know what to tell you.
I love it.
Quickly, the IRG injury report brought to you by IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Bryce Miller pitched into the 6th inning in his latest rehab start. Mariners GM Justin Hollander said he could rejoin the team at the end of this road trip or at the start of the next homestand. In fact, more from Justin Hollander on some of these injury updates coming your way next.
It's another important step in building the 2025 Seahawks.
The guys are on it. The intent's there.
Preseason game number 2. Seahawks Chiefs. Tonight, kickoff at 7. Pregame at 5. Meanwhile, the Mariners and Mets duel in the opener of a critical 3-game series in New York. Stay connected to the M's push for the playoffs on the Seattle Sports app. The Seattle Sports app lets you listen to both.
Holy catfish!
The home of the Mariners and the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Welcome to IRG Sports Injury Update. We're with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and president of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, and our guest, Dr. Jamie Antoine, orthopedic surgeon with Pro Ortho in Kirkland.
Dr. Antoine, welcome. Tell us about your ortho urgent care clinic that your group, Pro Ortho in Kirkland/Totem Lake, just started and put together.
Shannon, yeah, we're happy to kind of announce we've opened up an orthopedic walk-in clinic / urgent care on Saturdays. And so a great opportunity to give folks a chance to get in for injuries that figure can't wait till Monday. Maybe I don't need to go to the emergency room or just deal with a 3 to 4 hour wait at the emergency room and have a musculoskeletal problem like a sprain or strain or even a fracture or really any pain that's been going on. And happy to provide access to orthopedic specialty care after hours when folks may need that before Monday comes.
I think it's a fantastic idea, and there's a huge need. Tell us about the hours.
So far, we're doing a Saturday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. As demand grows, we would anticipate being able to offer Sundays as well as we ramp things up.
I can just imagine the convenience, one, for the patient, but more importantly, just the logistics. If the patient comes in and they need to follow up orthopedic care, you're right there. You schedule it, you take care of it, and it's kind of one-stop shopping there, so to speak.
The nice thing is really, compared to an emergency room or an urgent care, having access to either an orthopedic surgeon or orthopedic-trained physician assistant right away as the first line of care, I think, is of great benefit to patients.
Excellent information. How would one get a hold of you?
Best way to get a hold of us on the day of need or evening before is our phone number at 425-823-4000. And can also go to the website at proortho.com for more information.
Dr. Anton, thank you for your time. That is proortho.com.
With over 40 neighborhood clinics around Washington, IRG has you covered. Let IRG be your family's physical therapist. Find the location nearest you at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
Cars for Kids. No more stressing over your old vehicle. Donate it today and get it picked up tomorrow. It's the easiest service out there. Donate online at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 30th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Hundreds of cars, vintage, muscle, exotic, classics, trucks, boats, and more. Saturday, August 30th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Millions of dollars in inventory, many must sell with no reserve whatsoever. Get lucky, get local, and get in line for the Northwest's greatest collector car auction. Auction details at luckyoldcar.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Quick programming note. We were going to get back to some of that sound from the Get Got podcast with Mike Macdonald. Good stuff on Jalen Milroe at 1:30. Instead, we're going to have, though, Ryan Sloan join us. We're really, really excited to talk to the Aquasox starter as part of the Farm Report. So instead, Ryan Sloan at 1:30, and then coming up at 12:45, we've got that those comments from Mike Macdonald on Jalen Milroe. Some good stuff there. Okay, taking a look around the NFL at 12:30, leading into those Mike Macdonald comments, and then getting to Mariners at noon with Ryan Rowland-Smith. That's less than 15 minutes from now, and going to the Mariners here. They're going to have the Mariners a return of two pretty important players on this road trip with Bryce Miller. Maybe getting that start against the Phillies, and then Luke Raley coming back. We have a lot of sound here from Justin Hollander, Mariners GM, about what the return of some of those pieces mean. So first, let's talk about Miller, Raley, and Victor Robles.
Bryce was arguably our best starter for the second half of last year. Luke was probably our best hitter in the second half of last year. And if he wasn't, then Victor was. So, those are three huge pieces for us that are all on the road to recovery. So really excited to add them to the mix and just see what kind of freedom it gives Dan in-game, day-to-day, to match up a little differently and use the bench more in-game, too.
For as tough as it was to lose Thornton, to not add Duran at the trade deadline, and to feel like your bullpen is thin, it's not often that teams that have a good shot to make the playoffs get healthier as the year goes on.
You know what's so refreshing about that soundbite right there? I love Justin. It's that he's talking that way, and he's not trying to sell people on this is why this team is going to be better because these guys are coming back, you know?
Yeah.
Like last year, it felt like they were selling us on a dream, like, oh, well, this guy's coming back, so we should be fine. It's like, no, this team is already pretty good, and this is just reinforcing. They're not coming in with a cape on to save the day. They're coming in just to help and reinforce, and I think that's great, and you're right. It's rare that you get better or get healthier at this time of the year and really feel like these guys can contribute. It's always harder for me when you're relying on a bat that's been banged up for a while to come back and save the day. But you're right. Luke has had his moments. Victor was playing great ball last year, and this is going to help the team. It's not going to save the team. That's the difference. The hope is to help and not to save. That's the difference.
Let's talk about when exactly you could see Rayleigh.
Yeah, I think we could see Luke this weekend in New York. Want to check on, see how he felt last night. He's played, he had 2 games, then a game off, then 2 more. I believe he played first last night, which was a box he needed to check as well. So I think you could see him this weekend in New York.
And then quickly, when you could see Miller.
He threw the ball great. I think he was like 96, 98 for most of the outing. That's great. Which is an unbelievable amount of strikes. I think he had 30 pitches after 3 innings and something like 50 after 5. So I was sort of joking with the pitching crew on text during the game that Bryce may have to go 9 to get to his pitch count tonight. I think he ended up at 76, which does put him in position to potentially make his next start in the big leagues. So we'll see how he feels today and map that out. But I would anticipate either at the end of this road trip or when we get home that Bryce would be rejoining us.
Bryce was maybe the best starter, or certainly one of them in the second half of last year, had struggled this year. What's your optimism level that he can bounce back and hit the ground running? Maybe not hit the ground running, but look better coming back from his second IL stint?
I always say that running backs and maybe D linemen are 2 of the positions in football to where you can get traded, get to a new team, plug them in, and you can have success. Pitching is the same way to me, right? Because if you're throwing gas, you're throwing gas. If you got movement on your breaking ball, you got movement on your breaking ball. It's different than expecting Robles to come out and just be hot with his bat. I'm very optimistic about this thing because he has shown. Who was I listening to? Was it yesterday I was listening to? No game yesterday. There was a game yesterday, right? Am I tripping? Yeah, game yesterday. And I think I was listening to Gary Hill talk about how at one point Miller was considered one of the best pitchers in the game. And you don't just have a tremendous fall off like that. So he's going to come back, and I believe he's going to help this rotation tremendously. Being a pitcher, I mean, how many we saw Skeens hit the scene after a short stint in the minors and come out and be one of the best in the game. Pitchers can do that. You can insert them right now on any team, any ballpark, and they can dominate and have some success. So my optimism is higher with Miller than it is with Luke and Victor.
All right, let's talk about heading into the final, 39 games of the season. Here's Justin.
Yeah, it's like fingers crossed that you stay healthy right now. There are no more. We used to have what's called August trade waivers where you could claim guys on waivers and then work out a deal with the team if you did, or if they cleared waivers, you could trade for them. We don't have that anymore. So kind of what you have is what you have in the organization. And really what you want to do, it's a short stretch. Like now we get in the sprint of the season and you just want to try and assess where you are today and put your foot on the gas for the last 6 weeks of the season. It's very rare in a long season that you'll say like now is the time to put the hammer down. And like I think you'll see guys like less days off now. You'll see our relievers maybe go back to back more than they had previously. And that won't be unique to us. That'll be more common with everybody. Is you're in the sprint right now.
That makes me a little bit nervous, but nature of the game, as Justin said in his own comment, like it's not unique to the Mariners. I know that they don't have the bullpen depth versatility that they'd love to have, but they're far from the only team that's going to not only be dealing with questions at bullpen, but be putting guys out back to back.
Yeah, it's this is it, man. This is the stretch. It's crazy that we're to this point, too.
Isn't it?
39 games left, you said?
I mean, Pumpkin Spice comes out in about 15 days. I think less than 15 days. The 26th.
See, official start of fall.
Yeah, so I have a countdown on my phone. 11 days from now, Pumpkin Spice returns, and that, to me, is the start of football season.
Why is it only okay for Pumpkin Spice to be out in the fall? Why can't you have Pumpkin Spice whenever you want to?
It's a good question, Bump. It's something I've frequently wondered, but then this is also my theory.
It's just not a summer flavor.
Curtis, let me take this one. let me take this one. It's not a summer flavor is really kind of like my primary point here. Any gourd-inspired flavors are not really ones that you want to turn to in like May. June, July. You know what I mean? Nothing about nutmeg and cinnamon sounds delicious when it's 95 degrees outside. However, I also think that limited availability increases demand and makes things taste better. Peppermint ice cream or I've never tried eggnog. It doesn't sound great. I don't like the concept of it. But those are things that are more obviously Christmas time holiday flavors. Those things clear out. I mean, people love it. Would you really be that excited? Would you regularly buy eggnog coffee creamer? No. But the second it hits the shelves,
I think also it's a symbol of the season too.
Yes.
Pumpkin, you feel all warm and cozy.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel warm in the summertime.
No, I wanted to have my little pumpkin spice and hit, ooh.
In the summertime, I want to drink with an umbrella in it. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm not going to have, coconut fill-in-the-blank drink in November. That's reckless. That's irresponsible.
Texans they're saying, well, pumpkins aren't ripe until late October.
Oh, come on. This is 2025, you guys.
But
nothing's real.
We are humans. You can get the flavor whenever you want to.
You can buy kiwis in
You can't
December.
be like, hold on.
Let's be
we
so
can't
for
release
real.
the pumpkin spice because the pumpkins aren't ripe yet. No,
absolutely not.
We are a processed generation.
There's no real pumpkin in any pumpkin spice anything. It's some weird mathematic code that's creating that flavor, and it's delicious. And I'm so excited.
I hear it. Goodness gracious. You hear the way she said,
She's more excited for that than the start of football season, than the Mariners playoff
is the
run.
start of football season. That's exactly what I love about it. September is my personal favorite sports time of the year because it's really, really competitive baseball games. The weather's perfect and football season's getting started. It's the best. Well,
the Texans, they're on my head right now.
Good.
They're on my head.
Rightfully so.
You can get the flavor whenever you want to, man.
Ryan Rowland-Smith joins us next.
It's another important step in building the 2025 Seahawks.
The guys are on it. The intent's there.
Preseason game number 2. Seahawks Chiefs tonight. Kickoff at 7. Pregame at 5. Meanwhile, the Mariners and Mets duel in the opener of a critical 3-game series in New York. Stay connected to the M's push for the playoffs on the Seattle Sports app. The Seattle Sports app lets you listen to both.
Holy catfish!
The home of the Mariners and the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. We've been fortunate to work with over 4,000 local people and help them hit some pretty amazing weight loss goals. I'm joined by 2 of them right now, Mike Salk and Ryan Rowland-Smith. Mike, you were able to lose about a pound per day for over a month, 35 pounds in total.
Well, as much as I'd love to take all the credit, really, I was just following the plan. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic made it super easy, and there really was no part I struggled with. I was eating delicious, fresh food, all while losing weight. The accountability from your team was great. It just helped me keep the focus. I felt catered to the entire way, and I think Ryan really had a similar experience.
No doubt about it. I just finished up the program, and I can't believe how well it worked. I wish I would have started sooner. Talk about motivation. Salt, thanks for the recommendation.
No surgery, no exercise, no packaged meals, no drugs or injections. Just delicious food and a plan that works. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
If you've been considering upgrading your siding, now is the perfect time. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. In the Pacific Northwest, moisture is the enemy. Old failing siding leads to hidden water damage, rot, and mold. State Roofing and Exteriors is a James Hardy preferred contractor with over 55 years of siding expertise. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your siding inspection today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Lee Johnson Auto Family. This is King. This organization's a special one. They call it the Lee Johnson Auto Family, and it's not just a name, it's not just some cliche. They foster an environment for us to become a family. to work together to really become close, and they show us in a lot of different ways that they do value us. Is it perfect? No place is. But I've been very thankful to be here in the almost 10 years and have every plan to stay here for a lot longer and just watch it continue to grow.
He's fun and professional, which explains why so many people visiting Lee Johnson Kia ask for him by name. The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Dave Wyman here, and since I stopped playing football, we've been fortunate to live in the same house for over 20 years. That type of longevity is a good thing, except 20 years in the same house means a lot of things start to break. Most recently, it's our windows. Virtually every seal has broken, and that's why I reached out to Harley Exteriors. Chris and Ray came out to the house, and I could instantly tell we'd get along great, and I'd want to do business with them. They're local, they're huge fans of our teams, and big listeners to the station. Better yet, they have the best product. Olympic Series windows offered exclusively through Harley Exteriors are manufactured right here in Washington and designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. Look up Harley Exteriors for your window replacement. In August, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments for 1 year, and an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series finale against the Orioles, but who cares about that? We're moving on. Seattle opens a series today against the Mets. Luis Castillo on the mound tonight against Sean Manaea. The Mariners are 30-30 on the road, looking to improve on that record, obviously. Mets are favored in this one, but their pitching has struggled a bit of late. Will we see Seattle's offense bounce back? Sam Darnold and the Seahawks take on the Chiefs at 7 p.m. tonight right here on Seattle Sports. Pregame starts at 5 p.m.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Rowland-Smith joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. A lot to talk about when it comes to the Seattle Mariners. We were just talking with Buster Olney earlier today, and he was as optimistic as anyone I've ever heard when it comes to whether or not the Mariners could win the division. I've been listening to a couple other podcasts of national folks who all think the same. And Ryan, I think I can safely say it's the first time in a really, really long time that people are talking about the Mariners as not just this really fun dark horse candidate, but like no, really, they should and could win the West. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I think the expectations have obviously definitely changed. And it changed when, they make those trades and you get all that offense. And that's one thing. And then you have that massive homestand to add another layer to it offensively, right? And Gino hasn't even gotten going yet. So I think that helps as well. So you basically make the trades. Your pitching was good to go along with this offense. Josh Naylor has been awesome. Matter of fact, he's been, in my opinion, swinging it better in regards to some of the slugging numbers and the power numbers compared to what he was doing in Arizona, which is weird. I wasn't expecting that in that first week or so in the homestand. And then you got the pitching to go along with it. And so that was all well and good. But at the same time, because these expectations have changed, you're looking at this saying, okay, you've got to take care of business against a team like the Baltimore Orioles, against the bullpen that you had on the ropes a couple times. And so that's going to be that last piece. Can you take care of some of these teams that are scuffling? And can you walk into Citi Field tonight against the Mets, a team that's got some holes, walking a lot of people? It's going to be an intense environment. And can you, instead of being, like you said, that dark horse team, walk into a tough environment against a good team that's struggling and take care of them? Because that's what good teams do. And again, they've still got some ground to make up. I know they're only a game now behind the Houston Astros, but they are such a better team, but way better made up than the Houston Astros. And so I think you got to look at some of these things and say there's still a little bit of work to be done. But yeah, you should, when you look at this team after that first week, you should look at this and say you should win the West by a good 5 games when it's all said and done.
Ryan, you mentioned the importance of this series against the Mets and especially the importance of tonight. Luis Castillo getting the ball for this team. How important has he been for this Mariners team here in 2025? Because there was a lot of talk in the offseason, would he be here? Is he a trade candidate? He's on the opening day roster. He's been everything that Luis Castillo's been his entire career. So how important has he been to just kind of stabilizing that rotation here this season?
Well, yeah, he's been huge. I talked about this 2 days ago on another program and a national program, basically talking about how why didn't the Mariners go ahead and be this aggressive in the offseason in regards to gaining this offense like they did at the trade deadline? Well, part of that would have been, okay, if you were going to do that, it was going to be very difficult to get what you wanted on a free agent market because of a couple of reasons. Number one, it costs money. Number two, you're not going to fill the gaps with a guy that it's going to cost you 5 or 6 years. In order to do that in, say, the off season, you'd have to dismantle the rotation. And they weren't willing to do that, and for good reason, right? So, yes, the starting pitching has not been as dominant as what it was in 2024. It's pretty hard to replicate that. But that would have been a situation where you give up a Luis Castillo, you give up one of these younger starters, and all of a sudden, man, you wouldn't be in this position you're at right now with the consistency. So Luis Castillo has been huge. And when we talk about present time right now, they gave him that extra day off because, look, there was a little bit of dip in the velocity just recently. He hasn't had the opportunities like we see with some of these other pitchers where they cut him off at 85 pitches or they get through a clean 6 innings and then he's thrown 100 pitches a ton of times. And he's been, him and Brian Wu have been so stable with all these other injuries. So he has been absolutely massive. I love the fact they gave him that extra day. Just to take a breath with the off day built in as well. And I'll be curious, but pay attention tonight and see where he's at in regards to the environment he's in, number one. Number two, if he has that really good finish on some of his pitches, and if that velocity can get back to 95, 96s and 97s with that really good run on that 2-seam. But yeah, he has been massive. I'm so happy, by the way, looking at this now, with the fact that they went and did this at the trade deadline at the exact right time with the offense. I'm so happy they didn't dismantle this pitching because that was one of the discussions. And you mentioned the trade candidacy with Luis Castillo. I'm so happy they didn't do that.
Looking at getting back a couple outfielders here with Robles eventually and Rayleigh potentially on this road trip here, what are some of the roster considerations that come along with that? For instance, like, who might be the odd guy out? Which people are you looking at getting fewer opportunities? Who's going to the bench? And specifically with Rayleigh, but also obviously with Robles.
Yeah, I think first of all, getting Robles back, man, that would be huge. Just because you can't expect him just to absolutely go off right out of the gates. That'd be great if he can, but you just have that speed element too. You have that disruption on the bases. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing because this team. As we saw on the homestand, they can slug, and there's plenty of home run there. Don't get me wrong, but 50% of the runs come via the home run, and if they don't hit them, you see what happens. And so if you can add that speed element, so that's huge. That's number one. I'll get to the odd man out in just a second. I'm trying to pad this a little bit because I feel bad for this guy because he's been doing so well. I think you know who I'm going to say here.
Yep.
And then Luke Rayleigh, gives you that lefty option off the bench. But look, it's going to be a situation where, look, Dominic Canzone has been amazing, right? He's been so good since he's come back, and he looks so comfortable. But it's a good problem to have. I feel like Robles is going to have to, take that spot. in right field, and Canzone's going to be, the odd man out, and he has to just keep grinding away, whether that means he's on the bench and he has that pinch hit. And by the way, you look at his numbers, third and fourth at bat this year, they've been outstanding. And by the way, they've been really good against lefties too. So there's another, pinch hit option off the bench. And I know a lot of people are probably sitting there thinking, well, look, Dylan Moore has struggled. Yes, mightily struggled offensively, but you still need, some versatility in the infield too. And you still need a bit of speed off the bench as well if you're going to have Robles in there for base running and whatnot. So it's going to be tough. But look, this is a really good problem to have. How often have we had a situation where we've had someone like Dominic Canzone, who's played right field as well as he has in regards to the offense, and then all of a sudden now you got to slide into the bench because you just got an overfill of guys coming back who are going to be legitimate weapons, especially if Robles comes back and he's able to disrupt on the bases.
Ryan, Logan Gilbert a couple nights ago pitched into the seventh inning, something he hasn't done a lot this season. Only needed 79 pitches to get through that 6 1/3. Did take the loss in that game, though, against the Orioles. What did you make of his start and him getting deeper into that ball game?
Yeah, I think the big thing with him, and I've said to you guys for the last couple of weeks, and I'm about to maybe today bring it up to him and just say, hey, man, you throw more fastballs these last handful of starts, like 45% fastballs, because it's amazing, man. The guy's throwing 95, 97, really good split, really good slider. I get all that. And his slider's been better this year. But he's like hovering. He doesn't have two fastballs. So you're looking at that four seam, it's like 30%. That means he's just, going like split slider all day long. And I just feel like he's able to get deeper in the games if he's a little bit more efficient, because he is able to throw his fastball, which is in the strike zone more. Like, I looked at this, not the last start, going into this last one, I think it was against the White Sox. He threw 40 pitches against the White Sox in 2-strike counts. So in other words, it's not a command issue where it's taking him so much to get deep in the games because he's, walking the house. It's because he's getting the 2 strikes and he's just on the he's not inside the strike zone a whole lot. And that helps. He gets plenty of swings and misses because he's going to get chased because he's got plus stuff. But, man, I just think with him, he's so valuable as a guy who led the league in innings last year, number one, and number two, when he's getting into that 6th and 7th inning. And so I think that the last outing against the Orioles, there's just that uptick in fastball. So you're looking at around 45, closer to 50% fastball usage. And it just keeps that split and that slider in the back pocket. And the slider was really good, really, really good. I think his slider is better when he throws more fastballs because I don't see it as much, especially first time through the order. And his split against lefties is even better as well. So I feel like when you start to see Logan do that, and I think he's far enough removed where you're not seeing these dips in velocity and maybe in his fastball velocity late in games like we did, say, 3 or 4 starts ago, I think that's going to be key. I'm just trying to figure out and crack the code with him in regards to what is it to get him to a place like he did last time. He gave up that home run, unfortunately, against Mountcastle going into that 7th inning, and it was a 1-0 game. But what is it to get him deep in the games? That's the last little piece, and I think that's really going to be the uptick in the fastball usage.
Looking at kind of a step back when it comes to Dan Wilson, it's hard, I think, to gauge how a manager grows or learns over the course of a year, because for a lot of these guys, it's like, ask me in 5 years, ask me in 6, 7 years, like what I've learned. But that being said, he's got the advantage of not only being a beloved former Mariner, but already having an existing relationship with a lot of players. I'm curious, Ryan, given that you're well connected and you're able to see this, what that relationship is like, how that has become kind of a factor in the clubhouse and his relationship with these guys. And then if there is a takeaway about how you've seen him grow or where you've seen him grow this year as a manager.
Yeah, you know what, I can't say this enough, guys. Like, doesn't matter what industry you're in, if you are comfortable walking into, your superior's office and being transparent, and I'll give you an example, right? I've had managers in the past where my arm's killing me, right? Or I don't feel right, or I'm upset about the fact that I got up twice in a bullpen session, 5th inning, 6th inning, and then all of a sudden I'm pitching the 8th inning, right? Like, and it's mismanagement in regards to how the manager gets me up and sits me, or something like that you're upset about. If you walk into a manager's office and he can't handle that statement back to you, or you don't feel like you can be honest with him, and you start having that conversation, that toxic chatter at spring training. Excuse me, at batting practice. Which at 4:00 in the afternoon amongst your teammates, I can't believe I got up and I got down twice and I had to pitch. I'm just giving one example. Or I can't believe that he took me out. I had a short leash against this guy. Blah blah blah. And if you can't walk in and express yourself to your manager, that's a problem. I think that's the complete opposite with Dan Wilson. I feel like players are just comfortable with him because of his nature and because of who he is. They respect him so much, and because he has built that relationship with him on a different level, right? He's been with him through some of these younger players through the minor leagues, and they've gotten to know him just as a coach, not as a manager, not as a superior, and he hasn't changed at all, right? So I've had bench coaches who have turned into managers, and I've had other guys who all of a sudden they had a bit of a problem with this with the Astros, where Espada all of a sudden went from being a bench coach, being that guy that you could go and have a chat to, hang out with, to all of a sudden he became the manager, and felt like he had to change. And that didn't last long, with him in regards to he started to figure that out, that he has to be the same guy. Well, I think Dan Wilson's that same guy, and he's known these guys forever. Not to mention, too, and one last little layer with Dan Wilson is the fact that the way he's managed the bullpen, I love it. He hasn't put anyone in a spot where he's burnt them out, got them up and got them down over and over. He kind of understands that the importance of that. Munoz being one of them, where he slow played a lot of these guys early on, in the season, and now all of a sudden you can start pressing putting your foot on the throttle in regards to using him because of the way he's managed the bullpen. He's done a fantastic job of managing the bullpen. He really has, and he's also given guys leashes. One last thing on that too. Like you notice how Cole Young, Canzone are in there late in games facing lefties, and it's just such a confidence builder, man. I'm telling you, like you have those you're not getting pinch hit for or whatever because you're getting a chance to face those lefties, and because you've shown that you can handle them. Man, that's huge, massive, And so there's all these different things, but again, I think it's this is year one, full 6 months worth. Be interesting to see where he's at in year 2, year 3, year 4 in regards to how he manages things. But I think he's been amazing and just good for the organization in general.
Ryan, last one from me. The Mariners, it's been since the trade deadline that they've been playing their best ball of the season, but it's also been since Julio Rodriguez has really started to take off here. He's got an OPS over 1,000 in the month of August, 5 home runs he's already hit at the midway point of this month. How vital is he to where this team can go in 2025?
Yeah, huge, man. Huge. I just look watching him just go alligator arms inside out of pit at ball and backspin for right center field yesterday after that rain delay, plus velocity at the top of the strike zone. It's like, oh man, you've got that luxury. And then, by the way, he's picking his spots to get that bat head out and drive something in the air to left field. It just changes the way you have to pitch to him. He's lethal at the moment. And I think too, you've got a situation where Josh Naylor's right after him. He's snuck in there behind Cal. We saw what happened with Randy Arozarena when he started hitting behind Cal, in that 4-hole before they shuffled the lineup up. I think that helps as well. I think he's in a really good spot, nestled in between 2 very patient hitters, and that means he's going to get less of the microscope on him, or that less pitch arounds against Julio, where he's going to be that free swinger. So there's some of that, but also too, look, I don't know what happens, man. When in August, people ask me, hey, why did he start figuring stuff out in August and September? That's the $1 million question, man. But he just looks, it's like the dust settles on that trade deadline, and he takes a breath and he sees the finish line, and he just goes full tilt. I don't know what it is, but he looks really good right now, really, really good at the plate. And I think that's going to be huge. And by the way, too, like Gino has not done what we're hoping him to do, and he will at some point. But you can hide that when you've got, obviously, Cal's hitting home runs at a crazy pace still, and you've got Josh Naylor doing what he's doing, and then you got Julio doing what he's doing. You can, Gino doesn't have to get crazy hot here, right out of the gates, but he will. So it's exciting, man. It's huge for this lineup.
Our weekly visit with Ryan is brought to you by Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. He's Ryan Rowland-Smith. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one. Let's get to Headline Rewrites.
Thanks, Ryan.
Extra, read all about it.
Headline Rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Glad you could join that interview.
Yeah, I just didn't want to interrupt. You guys had such a flow going there. I didn't want to mess it up.
Just natural chemistry. You were like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That was in the midst of your car troubles when you recorded that
car.
one.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, my car. I spent so much money on that truck the past, 3 weeks?
Nothing is more annoying than money you don't intend to sink into, A, anything, but B, car stuff.
Yeah, hate it.
Headline number 1, the Seahawks take on the Chiefs tonight in their second preseason game. What's the royal headline?
That's what I'm calling a Super Bowl preview.
If you are
I think
right,
a lot of people think that.
If you're correct,
I will be.
Which you're not going to be.
No.
But if you're correct,
because the Chiefs aren't making it.
we got to cut this, man, and give her flowers. This should be fun tonight. It sounds like we might see Sam Darnold and some of the starters. We on defense, we'll see some starters as well. It's your first real look. It's probably going to be for about 3 minutes. So enjoy it while it lasts. And then, like I say, man, pick your matchup. Pick a player that is fighting for a spot on this roster and just follow his progress and see how he does. I do what I usually do during the Seahawks games. The first half I watch in the press box. Third quarter, I'll walk the bowl a couple of times, kind of feel the game. And then fourth, I'll go back up. And people were hyped. I mean, this felt like last week felt like a regular season game. The people were just as belligerent, just as excited, and it was fun.
I'm not saying that this happened, but speaking of being belligerent, if you get drunk and get in a fight at a preseason game,
you just built different.
You're built different, bro.
Well, the Raiders were in town last week, so them Raider fans.
They're always ready to fight.
Imagine getting in a fight at a preseason game. It's summer, kids are out, families are there trying to have fun. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Being a hero is what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, don't fight. Please don't.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Victor Robles, Luke Raley, and Harry Ford were all out of the Rainiers lineup last night. What's that all about? What's the real headline?
Either this is just a fun coincidence or someone with the Rainiers is an expert troll.
Coincidence. Shannon was she was serious yesterday. Her tone changed talking about Harry. Like, listen, you do not
Let me sit you down.
ruin this young man. You don't call him up. He needs the ABs. Now, Luke and Victor, you come on down. You're the next contestant on help the Mariners win the division. I think that's obviously more likely. Happy to see these guys. Can't wait to see them. But Harry, you take your time and you develop over there, and you might get traded either way because of the Cal situation. But no, not this year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year for Harry. I don't know.
The way I look at it is like, would I be glued to my TV if they, promoted Ford, like if you had like a debut that you were watching? Yeah, I think it's fascinating. Like content-wise, it would be a very interesting story. I am not as sold as some others are that the difference between Garver and Ford is either absolutely nothing or positive in Ford's direction. I think that some people are underestimating how difficult it is to acclimate to the league and to acclimate as a catcher. Also really important, you mentioned this, Shannon pointing out yesterday, that like Harry has never caught major league pitching ever in his entire life. Like this, yeah, maybe like a rehab start when like Logan was down there or whoever, but like I think that you look at Garver and some people see like, oh, it's a blank spot in the lineup and I'm frustrated, but it's like at least he has caught major league pitchers as a career.
Yeah.
And Harry maybe if he was called up, he'd be great, but I think that anyone assuming that's going to be true is, I think, a little foolish.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, Michigan received their punishments today. They will not receive a bowl ban.
Let's go.
Or forfeit any of their 2023 national championship season as a result of that investigation into the program's sign-stealing operation. What's the real headline?
That'll teach them. They really stuck it to them with that one. Hey, Michigan, take this. Nothing.
Don't do it ever again.
Don't do it. Okay?
Are you sorry?
Yeah.
Are you sorry? Did you say sorry? Did you say sorry?
This is like when I threaten to punish my kids and I don't do it. So I'm like, it's all good. Like, no PlayStation for a week.
No follow through.
It's been a day, and I'm like,
Give it
go
back the
ahead,
next
man.
day.
Go
You
play your
can do it.
PlayStation. All right, leave me alone. Play your PlayStation. Yeah, it's because it's Michigan. That's exactly why. If it was a smaller school, NCAA would have jumped on them so quick. But we know how this goes.
Let's see. Someone's telling us they got kicked out of a preseason game in San Diego in 2008. They cut us off in the third quarter.
Didn't even make it to the fourth. Now, usually the fourth quarter is when they stop serving drinks.
Yeah.
So they cut him off, huh?
They were like, you've had enough. A reminder that today's Mariners-Mets game can be heard in its entirety on AM 770 as well as the Seattle Sports app. Meanwhile, the Seahawks-Chiefs game will air right here on 710 as well as the app. Any confusion? Simply download the Seattle Sports app to find both broadcasts. Taking a look around the NFL next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
Josh Naylor's hit the ground running. The defense has been something I did not even think about. If it's possible, I would be knocking on the door, calling the phone, sending the emails with his agent. And I think if they are able to go on a deep run in the postseason, that could go a long way into selling Seattle to him if it needs to be sold.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bumpus for Silver Reef Casino. It's an easy drive up I-5. You go north, get off exit 260, and you will find it. It's a great place to get away, to recharge, and get your mind right. They got great, comfortable rooms. They're spacious, free Wi-Fi, and they also have tablets in there as well. And when you're all settled in, go downstairs and get something to eat. They got the steakhouse and the cantina if you want a real Mexican feel. It's time to watch games. Go to Porter's Bay Sports Bar. The vibes are good. TVs everywhere, and the drinks are cold. And my golfers, they got you covered as well. Loomis Trails Golf Course, 18 holes with water almost everywhere. Please hit that fairway and be patient. And they got some promos going on as well. Every Saturday this month, you can win $10,000 with a grand prize of $50,000 at the end of the month. They got great events as well. Book your tickets at silverreefcasino.com. Silver Reef Casino, it's not a secret anymore.
This summer, make sure your roof is ready for the season ahead with a company you can trust, like 3 Tree Roofing. We're not just your roofers, we're your neighbors, and we're here to help you protect your home this season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free on-site estimate and get your roof replaced before the summer rush and potential material price increases. Our certified technicians make your roof replacement easy and worry-free, so you can focus on the important things this summer. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Our bats are back, and the ballpark is rocking like 2001. Hey, it's Dr. Ryan Stern of the Stern Sinus Center. Rhine Air is a simple, non-invasive procedure that significantly reduces your postnasal drip and stuffiness. We're proud this year the Stern Sinus Center was just named a nationwide center of excellence. We offer a solution that will save you time, money, and frustration. Schedule your appointment in Auburn or Federal Way or go to sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
It's back to school time again, and parents are pretty stressed out.
Can you blame us? The supply list, the sign-ups, the scheduling.
At least haircuts are easy at Great Clips.
It's true. With the Great Clips app, I checked him in before we left home, so we were in and out in no time.
I got a great haircut, and Mom got to check something off the to-do list. She really loves that.
Back to school can be a lot, but haircuts are easy at Great Clips. Download the app today.
Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men, too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat-freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
If you're 50.
Better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, we are going to start with the 49ers, Raiders, and Pete Carroll. The 49ers and Raiders have had joint practices this week. George Kittle said not much has changed with Pete Carroll's defense from his Seattle days. Obviously, George Kittle very familiar with that group.
Like the footage that we were watching was like 2015 Seahawks tape. And then if you watch that compared to the game they just played versus the Raiders, the Seahawks and Raiders, it was like, oh, that's the exact same defense. And so it was kind of funny to go back and watch tape from before I was actually in the NFL.
Is it a problem if it's the exact same defense from 2015?
No. I mean, guys have their offenses, guys have their defenses, and that's what Pete Carroll does. He's going to play that cover 3, and they're going to be aggressive at the line of scrimmage. They're going to bail. No, I don't think it's a problem. It's like Vic Fangio has his defense he's been running for forever. No, it's completely fine. Now, do you have the personnel to execute the way they did in 2015? Probably not. But, no, I don't see no problem there.
Turns out you can 100% blame Saquon Barkley's departure for the Eagles as to why there will likely never be an off-season Hard Knocks again. NFL Films VP Keith Crossrow told the Sports Business Journal that teams were scared off because the scene where the Giants front office is deciding whether or not to move on from Saquon ended up going viral. And they said, look, the show as a whole, I'm paraphrasing the interview, which is a very quick read. They said the show as a whole was this really fascinating look at the season. However, they said, quote, Crossrow, when that 1 or 2 clips about Saquon got removed and isolated, it blew up on social media and kind of took on a life of their own. That certainly gives people pause in the NFL and in every other walk of life about doing these sorts of shows.
Yeah, that's like when people are let in, like a friend stays the night at the house and the family gets into like an issue, right? It's a serious business, and now you have the inside scoop on stuff. No, you want to keep that stuff in-house, man, because now the Giants look silly. They look silly as heck, man. He leaves. He wins a Super Bowl. He rushes for what? How many yards rushed for? 2,000 plus or almost 2,000, something like that?
He nearly broke Dickerson's record.
Yeah, whatever Eric Dickerson's record was, minus like...
You look foolish.
11,
you look foolish. But here's the thing. Teams make mistakes all the time on personnel. It happens all the time. This one was just huge. And, yeah, I understand why teams wouldn't want any parts of that.
Yeah, I think that, like, I totally get it. I wish that they would change their mind and instead do it, because I think that while Hard Knocks as a training camp look is really, really interesting, I do think it's more interesting at that behind the scenes, whether it's a war room, whether it's, like, off-season decision-making. Because it's like, well, imagine if you saw the other thing happening. Imagine if you saw Hard Knocks, last year's Vikings front office, and there's this random scout in there going, guys, I don't know. I think Sam Darnold can actually be, like, legitimately pretty good. And then someone's like, I don't know, man. Like, because that's kind of what happened with Saquon Barkley. Is like most of the room is like, yeah, he's asking for a little too much. And then you have, like, this one younger guy that's going, I don't know. I kind of think he's, like, really elite. This is going to be a problem. You have, like, the one dude in there that ends up being right. So
someone's going to be right, someone's going to be wrong.
The opposite could be true. Exactly. The opposite could be true, and it could be a good watch, but we'll never see it. Mike Vrabel sounds like he's having a ton of fun dealing with the Boston media when being asked about Stephon Diggs' Week 1 availability.
Oh, he's not sure about his readiness for Week 1.
Did you really believe that, Phil? I mean, you're a smart guy. I don't know where he went to school. It wasn't Ohio State, but, like, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that, Phil, or are you just trying to bait me into something?
I'm not baiting you.
Okay.
He did say he wasn't sure he'd be ready for week 1. Is there any doubt in your mind?
I don't know the context in which he said it, but you'd have to help me. I mean, he's been out here almost every day. I'm excited of where he's at, and we'll see when week 1 comes.
Tough stuff. You gotta ask, I guess.
You have to ask.
You have to ask. You can't be mad, Mike.
He's your number 1 receiver. You know what they should be asking about? Efton Chisholm III.
Oh, I thought it was like,
baby.
why did he and Cardi break up?
Let's go.
Okay,
nah, Efton Chisholm III.
Different conversation.
Let's go, Chisholm. Monroe, stand up. Let's get it.
That reminds me of those viral videos of guys that go in with like little pieces of paper written by their girlfriends or wives when it's like their friend breaks up with someone and they're going in asking follow-up questions that they aren't thinking to ask because the girl wants to know. You know?
I've never seen that.
It's really funny. So the clip, an example would be like a guy shows up to hang out with his guy friend. He's like, so why did you and then he pretends to like look at his hand. Why did you and Julia break up? That's interesting. And are you dating anyone right now? And what, like, just these follow-ups where it's like, what do you mean you didn't ask? What do you mean you don't have information?
Oh, okay. You're talking about, dudes don't care about that stuff.
Yeah. But it reminded me of this right now when you were like, there's a natural question here. And I said, yeah, why did Diggs and Cardi break up? That's obviously the natural question, right?
Let's be real, though. We knew that wasn't going to last, right?
We knew.
Yeah.
We knew. She has a new album coming out.
Are you going to buy it? Do you buy albums now? You don't buy albums.
No, I think you just
just
stream
download
them.
it.
Yeah. If you're still holding out hope for the Seahawks to sign Brandon Scherff, give up. The former All-Pro guard has apparently retired from football, according to an article on Iowa's website written about his induction into the school's athletic Hall of Fame. Scherff says, it's been something I could never dream of. Sometimes I would tell my wife she has to come pinch me because I'm playing a kid's game, and being able to do it as my job is pretty amazing.
I'm glad we didn't grab him.
Oh, the article said, who retired from playing this summer.
I was all on the Scherff bandwagon.
A lot of people were. Understandably so.
That's it's giving me, who's the guy that retired mid-season last year?
Connor Williams.
Yeah, it's giving me Connor Williams.
What a wild
How do you
ride
just
that
quit on
was.
your team mid-season like that?
You just do. You just do
I
it.
snapped the ball over Gino's head too many times. I'm done.
Well, what's hilarious is that the next week, Olu was starting center, and we're like, all right, they're not going to snap the ball over anybody's head. And then, boom, like one of the first snaps over Gino's head.
We had a hype train where, Curtis, you said your bold Seahawks take?
Was that my bold Seahawks take was that there would be no snaps over Gino's head the following week, and then, sure enough, it happened.
You're not allowed to do that anymore.
I know.
Because
I jinxed it.
Yeah, you jinxed it. A U.S. Weekly exclusive, the NFL was so worried about Beyonce's elaborate costume during her Christmas Day halftime performance that they were going to fine $500 for every crystal that fell off of it onto the field. No word on whether or not
That's a lot of money, potentially.
No word on whether or not she was actually fined or whether any crystals fell off her costume.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Player safety, right?
Over a crystal?
Yeah, you fall on one of those?
Many crystals, potentially.
I've fallen on a piece of metal on a football field before. It hurts.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it pierce the skin?
You saw blood. I was bleeding.
I'm trying to find out. So it says, the insider explains, yes, it was for player safety. Anything like that on the field could cause injury. We just don't know whether or not it actually ended up happening. But there's a lot of crystals in that entire
performance. I'm looking at it right now.
A lot of crystals, a lot of glitter. Glitter doesn't do anything, but like...
Throw tarp on the field. That's all you got to do.
You got to dance on it.
Well, what? Kendrick Lamar's halftime show had like something on the field?
Your guys' fault. You're playing football at a Beyonce concert. Cancel the game. What are you talking about? Tarp on the field.
Tarp it
up. Absolutely horrible. We're going to have, by the way, I want to remind you guys before I forget, coming up at 1, kind of a Seahawks round table, we've got more from Mike Macdonald. ESPN ranks the league's position groups. We'll tell you where the Seahawks landed in a couple different ones. We're going to continue our preview for Friday night's preseason game. But since what I need to know is coming up at 1:45, I wanted to be able to, if you have questions specifically about the Seahawks or about this game, that's probably when you want to send that in. So what I need to know coming your way at 1:45 anyways, but kind of leaving it open for some Seahawks questions, especially while we've got Bump here before he goes to do the pregame show. So that's coming up at 1, and that number, 866-979-3776. Let's get to one more story here before we talk about the preseason game. A survey conducted by ESPN of former NFL players found most would play again, even with the toll football is taken on their body. Would you play again?
For sure.
Yeah, I didn't even need to ask.
I love the game, man. You know it's dangerous, but There's nothing like it. Let me tell you, I only had a cup of coffee in the NFL, and scoring a touchdown, being in a stadium, doing what you love is something I would do over and over and over again. If the good Lord came down and said, all right, Bump, I'll give you another 6 games actually playing in the league, would you do it and go through all you went through? I'd say thank you.
Important to note, too, is that this survey was conducted on over 1,500 players who played in the NFL during 1988. So all of these men are aged like in their early 60s, some older, some younger, obviously. But like this is to the point where it's not just a 39-year-old saying, I'd totally play again. It's men who are now feeling the cost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm feeling that knee replacement. I'm feeling this hip replacement. And overwhelmingly, all of them said that they would continue to play again.
Different breed, man.
Almost all the ex-players reported having at least some pain in the past 3 months. You know what, though? Part of that might be age.
Combined with car accidents that you've taken or been in.
The crazy toll that playing in the NFL has. Okay. Seahawks Roundtable coming your way at 1. Don't go anywhere.
It's another important step in building the 2025 Seahawks.
The guys are on it. The intent's there.
Preseason game number 2. Seahawks Chiefs. Tonight, kickoff at 7. Pregame at 5. Meanwhile, the Mariners and Mets duel in the opener of a critical 3-game series in New York. Stay connected to the M's push for the playoffs on the Seattle Sports app. The Seattle Sports app lets you listen to both.
Holy catfish!
The home of the Mariners and the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Heward here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 30th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Hundreds of cars, vintage, muscle, exotic, classics, trucks, boats, and more. Saturday, August 30th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Millions of dollars in inventory, many must sell with no reserve whatsoever. Get lucky, get local, and get in line for the Northwest's greatest collector car auction. Auction details at luckyoldcar.com.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. Summer is here, and Washington Energy's BOGO 40% off sale is on now. Update and enhance your home with beautiful new windows and doors, expertly installed by Washington Energy Services. Save today with one of our best deals of the year. Buy one energy-efficient window, get the second at 40% off. And BOGO 40% off all entry, patio, and interior doors right now. From traditional to modern home updates, and with over 65 years of award-winning installations, Washington Energy is the clear choice. Call today for a free estimate.
The future is here, so why is your internet stuck in the past? With Quantum Fiber Internet, you can get next-level multi-gig speed on a reliable fiber network. Fair and honest pricing with no annual contracts or bundling required. And whole home 360 Wi-Fi to make sure your devices are ready to take you where you want to go. So you can stream, post, game, surf, like, and love to your heart's content. You do you. Let Quantum Fiber Internet take care of the rest. Learn more at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
How we going, mates? It's Ryan Rowland-Smith for Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. If you haven't heard about it already, at the start of this year, I decided to get in the best shape of my life. So I lost 30 pounds of body fat, and I kept all that lean muscle. Best decision I ever made. People ask me all the time, what was the motivation to get in such good shape? So a couple of things. Number one, who doesn't want to be in the best shape of their life, right? Obviously physically, but for me, more important mentally. And it starts with a diet, and I finally figured out you can't outwork it. Eastside gave me all the tools I needed to be able to prepare food, have tons of energy, and was never, ever hungry. But there's some other motivators too. I had to lose a bunch of visceral fat. I found out I had way too much of that, especially as I hit my 40s. But one more, look, this is the most important one. I wanted to set a really good example for my kids, to be the best version of myself. My kids look up to me, and I want to be the absolute best example and role model. So look, if any of these resonate with you, there's no better time to start. The time is right now. Make that free 15-minute call to Eastside Weight Loss Clinic and get it started today. It'll change your life like it did mine.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I keep meaning to get to this Mike Macdonald comment on Jalen Milroe. I've been pushing it back for the whole show. Like, we'll get to that in a minute. But I finally found a home for it. It's right here. So we're going to talk about both quarterbacks. Bump, you were wondering whether this is the most anticipated preseason game from a veteran quarterback. Then we've got Mike Macdonald talking about what Jalen Milroe can do to opposing defenses. Let's start with an answer to your first question. Is this the most anticipated preseason game from a veteran quarterback?
Most definitely. I mean, who else is out there? No one's.
No one that you don't know about that you're dying to know about.
Nah, there's no one else out there. There's no other team that has made the move that the Seahawks have made at quarterback to a veteran, and we don't really know what to expect. We know what he did with the Minnesota Vikings, but I think everybody who cares about the Seahawks and anyone who is a real football fan, they're looking at Seattle and saying, is Sam Darnold for real, and what's he going to look like? But the jacked up part is he won't do enough tonight, and if he does throw an interception or fail, people are going to amplify that. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to trip either way. I'm not going to trip. I just want to see a couple of things, right? I just want to see him out there. I want to see him go through the process. I want to see some play action. I want to see him toss the football. I just want it to be real because it feels like it's not real until I see 14 out there with the boys doing what he does. But, yes, there's no other team that has traded for a veteran and have the questions that we have over here with Sam Darnold.
I agree with you. It's like the closest could maybe be, ironically, Geno from last week. But, like, I think that Sam brings a different kind of curiosity because Geno is familiar with Pete Carroll. It's a very clear upgrade at quarterback. With Sam, it's not clear yet for some people whether it's an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like Geno could have gone out and been bad, and you'd still be like, no, the Raiders have a better position there than they did last year. All right, let's get to Jalen. This was Mike Macdonald talking with the Get Got podcast.
Like, I'm begging him. I'm like, dude, do you realize how much of a pain in the ass you are? Like, it's just like he's got great arm talent, really, really smart, great worker. But
thank you
he
for
has
that.
the legs.
Thank you for that.
But he has the trump card.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey man, like, use it.
Yeah.
Like you can have it all. You can do everything. You know, so everything is better than some of the things. So do that, you know, and he understands it. He understands it, and he's so committed to being a great quarterback, which he's going to be. And so I'd much rather work with a guy with that attitude than just say like, hey, screw it, just give me the ball. I'm just going to run around. Like, we don't want to operate like that. So, but he's going to get there, and it was a great first outing, and but the cool thing about Jalen, he's the first guy to tell you like, hey, this is where I want to grow. This is where I'm trying to go, and he'll be working on it.
I'm really excited to see Jalen Milroe tonight. What are you hoping we see? What are you anticipating from this game?
I hope that Milroe does exactly what Coach said. Use your attributes. I played quarterback in high school, right? My freshman and my senior year. And my coach told me, he says, if you can run, just run. Like, go for it. If it's there, and this is in high school, so knowing that I have that option at all times and I have the support of the coach, it just changes the game, right? It makes you be okay with using your attributes, because you know sometimes quarterbacks, especially athletic quarterbacks like Milroe, like they want to prove somebody wrong so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I can operate from the pocket, and you're going to have to operate from the pocket 90% of the time. But if you see a team and they blitz and it's man coverage and their receivers are running down the field and taking DBs with them, you go ahead and use your legs, use your ability. Like, don't limit yourself because you want to prove people wrong. Now, there's a fine line between doing it too much, relying on it, and using it to your advantage. So I just want to see him be free, and I want to see the play calling allow him to be free. And how do you do that? You get him outside the pocket. You play action, you roll out, and if nothing is there, you take off and you run. But I just want to see him, and I want to see him make mistakes, because you got to learn from those mistakes. I think people – it's same thing with Sam too, right? As soon as he makes a mistake, people are going to lose their minds, right? Oh, it reminds me of Geno. Don't let him throw an interception in the red zone. People are going to lose their minds. But mistakes are going to happen, and you just learn from them. So that's what I want to see. I want to see Milroe be free. I want to see the play calling allow him to be free. And use what God gave you, man, because he made it look really easy running the rock last week.
I really like that last point about, like, hey, use what God gave you. Don't turn away from what you're really good at. It's like we all preach, embracing individuality until we want to label that stuff as not as good, right? Until we want to label, a mobile quarterback, he's not a pocket passer because he's not as smart. You know what I mean? Like, it's always this really negative stereotype. Well, there's not longevity to that. Okay. First of all, you do have to kind of change the way you play over time, but it's not like Lamar has become less mobile over time. He's become a better passer over time. That mobility can stay with you for years and years, and if it makes you an incredibly dynamic weapon for the first part of your career, why would you turn away from it just because you can't use it later? I really love that point, because I think that unfairly it impacts mobile quarterbacks, and it's in a way that always tries to make it where, like, mobile quarterbacks aren't as cerebral or something. And it's like, but that's actually, and I love how excited Mike Macdonald clearly sounds. Like, he starts out kind of laughing and being like, from the mind of a defensive coordinator, you're going, I hate this guy. Yeah. Like, think of that. Think of the mind of a defensive dude going, oh my God, this guy could be such a nightmare. I'm like laughing about it.
Yeah.
That's a compliment and a half.
Yeah, mobile quarterbacks is knowing when to be mobile. When nothing is there, when you go through your progression, when you go from 1 to 2 to 3 to check down, nothing's there. When you go from high to low to check down, nothing's there. When you go inside out, outside in, nothing is there. That's like your last resort, because a lot of quarterbacks, when they go through their progression, they go through all their reads, they're done. It's going to be a sack, or I'm throwing this football away. And then it's not being a tough guy. Get down and get out of bounds. That's one thing Lamar does a great job of doing, the most mobile quarterback we've ever seen, is that I can't remember a time where Lamar just got lit up. I'm sure it's happened before, but there are some guys when they run, these old statue quarterbacks, where they get lit up. You remember there's a play, I think I want to say it was the Patriots against the Jets back in the day, where Tom Brady scrambles and gets lit up, doesn't get down. I don't remember that for Lamar. So if he can master that too, this limiting the big hits, getting out of bounds, getting down, use your weapon. There's the quarterback position has changed. I've said it before. Even Joe Burrow is mobile, and go down to Brock Purdy. He's even a bit mobile. The quarterbacks are different now. So, use your abilities.
Would you rather have peak Mike Vick or peak Lamar? And imagine that you could build the rest of your team around them. So it's not like, oh, you have Lamar with Baltimore's best team, or you have Vick with, like, a Falcons team.
Mike Vick.
Like, I'm talking just that guy, and then you could build everything else.
Mike Vick is my favorite player of all time. And I'm still taking Lamar.
Why?
Because Lamar has shown that he can operate. Here's the thing. Vic was better after he was locked up. He came back in Philly, you know what I'm saying? He studied the game. Like Vic used to say, he didn't even study. He just went out there and out-athleted everyone. He was better when he was with Philly because he was a better passer. I think Lamar's a better passer than Vic was.
All right, we're going to get to our Seahawks roundtable. You can send those questions in 866-979-3776. Coming your way next.
He's the best catcher in baseball.
Pitch to Cal, swing and a drive.
And he's on Seattle Sports, Thursday afternoons all season long. It's the Honey Bucket Cal Raleigh Show.
Presented by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians.
More history for Cal Raleigh.
I love being here and I love these fans in the city.
Catch every episode of the Honey Bucket Cal Raleigh Show, presented by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians, on the Seattle Sports YouTube page, the Seattle Sports app, and seattlesports.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-298-7906. 800-298-7906.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Astros closer Josh Hader will be shut down from throwing for the next 3 weeks after being diagnosed with a left shoulder capsule sprain. The team said next steps will be determined after that 3-week period is up. The Seahawks take on the Chiefs at 7 p.m. Pregame show hosted by Michael Bumpus starts at 5 p.m. on Seattle Sports. The Mariners open a series against the Mets. This from Shannon Drayer minutes ago, quote, have seen Taylor Saucedo and Luke Raley here at Citi Field. No moves yet.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. We have so many things to get to in this final hour. Coming up at 1:30, the Farm Report with top 10 Mariners prospect, Aquasox starter Ryan Sloan. What I need to know coming your way at 1:45. Going X's and O's on 1:15 with 4 Down Territory and Seahawks Roundtable right here. You can get some questions in about the Seahawks, about this preseason game, 866-979-3776. We got a couple stories to cover here. Let's start with this one. Bump, ESPN has their position group rankings, and we'll go over a couple places where the Seahawks land. Now, the good news is the Seahawks didn't finish as the worst, really, anywhere. They also didn't finish as the best. So, with the exception of looking at the interior defensive line. So, let's start there. ESPN has the Seahawks number 1 for interior defensive line. They said a contender for this honor a year ago, the Seahawks remained stacked up front with Leonard Williams leading the way. He's playing at a superstar level at age 31, led all interior linemen with 11 sacks, ranked 4th with 35 pass rush wins last season. They also talk about Hankins, Reed being back. I think Hankins is just coming back from injury or dealing with one. And then Byron Murphy is a candidate for a second-year leap. Do you agree with that last part?
Byron Murphy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think, one, he plays just a tough position that doesn't get enough love. But I think that there are tricks of the trade, man, when you're in the trenches like that you can learn. And Byron, from what I've gathered, from what I've studied, talked to him, and talked to people about him in the organization, is that he's a student of the game. Right, and students of the game, you have no choice but to grow and get better. So yeah, I would agree that Byron Murphy, he's in line, and you got a year with Jay Reed. You get to learn from DeMarcus Lawrence. He's surrounded by a veteran group that I feel like Leo as well, who's a Pro Bowler. He's surrounded by a group where he has no choice but to learn, even if you're actively being stubborn and don't want to take anything from those guys, which he isn't. Just being around them is going to rub off on you, and you're going to learn some things. So, yeah, I'm with it 100%.
Let's go to a couple other defensive spots. They have a top 10 corner room. They come in at number 10. Baltimore leads the way there. Leading the way at safety is Detroit, where I thought Seattle was a little low. I can absolutely understand the argument, but they came in at 14th there. Maybe I'm putting too much weight into Nicky Manwari and the flexibility he provides, but I think Julian Love is underrated. I'm excited to see Manwari. I think Kobe Bryant has been a really important contributor. I know he plays kind of everywhere, but I thought that was a little low.
Yeah, that's a sleeper position, I feel like. Jay Love was a Pro Bowler last year, I believe. You have Kobe Bryant, he's like the people's champ to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kobe Bryant's been through a lot, battled with injury, was essentially they brought in Spoon to replace him, right? But then he moves to the safety spot. He's just been he's been super dynamic, man. He's made plays on special teams as well. Well, we had 2 interceptions last year, 2 or 3 interceptions last year. Either led the team or was close to it. No, Kobe Bryant is a sleeper for me. I think Imawari, we have high expectations for him because we've seen him during training camp. Obviously, he's a high draft pick for the Seahawks here, but I think by mid-season, if he is trending the way that I think he is going to trend, if you were to rank these positions again or the safety position again, the Seahawks will probably be up. But we got to see it, man. He's a rookie, right? We don't know much about him.
Off-ball linebackers, Seattle comes in at 25. They don't have a ton of depth there, so I can.
Off-ball linebacker.
Yeah,
and then
I see it.
Uchenna's oh no, we're talking.
But yeah, so it's like I think it's just that Knight
Ernest
hasn't made like a
Knight,
massive name for himself, and so I totally get it.
Yep.
And then edge rusher, they are middle of the road, 17th.
Yeah.
Is that a little low or fair?
No, I think it's fair because Uchenna hasn't been healthy. I think when healthy, he's one of an above average, I would say, edge rusher. And where you're just young with Boye, and you're not young, but they just haven't put together explosive seasons. I think what Uchenna had, Boye had 9 sacks one year, then 6 the following year, I believe. So it looks like he's taking a step back, but I don't think he has. No, it's just there's no position on this team where you look at it and you're just impressed. You're just like, oh my God,
Blown
that position
away,
group
like,
is just
you should
great.
be top
Yeah,
5.
you just don't have that. But that doesn't mean they don't have a good team, though. You just don't have superstars at any position.
I do think it's very interesting that while the interior defensive linemen were the top-ranked group from ESPN, otherwise no group was really like definitively the best, with the next closest being corners at 10, and people still expect Seattle's defense to be pretty exceptional. That's awesome. Let's go to offense. You want to guess where the offensive line falls? It's in the 20s.
Bottom 5, probably.
Close. 27.
27.
Yeah.
Yeah, bottom 5.
Yeah, about there. You got a lot to prove there, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, we're good with that. Haven't been consistent. Gave up a lot of sacks last year. Geno contributed to that. Run game hasn't been able to get going. Yeah, I expected that.
Tight end, they also rank in the 20s. Wide receiver, they're 19th.
That's a little surprising. I would expect them to be at least top 15 when it comes to wideouts. I think the age of Cooper Kupp, obviously, the inconsistency that MVS has shown at times during his career, and then the hesitancy to really buy into Jason being capable of being that number 1 guy, even though I think he's more than capable of doing that. And I think the receiver is always connected to the quarterback as well. So you got Sam Darnold, who has only shown for 1 year that he can be a top quarterback in this league. A little high for me. I thought they'd be at least top 15.
I thought the quarterback ranking was interesting. Now, the other day we looked at Mike Sando's quarterback tiers, and he had Sam Darnold coming in at number 20 alongside Bo Nix, and Geno Smith just ahead of them at 19. This isn't drastically different than that, with ESPN's rankings having the quarterback room for Seattle at 21. I think there's a case to be made where it could be a little bit higher, but otherwise I'm going through the list and I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, there's just some either like young talent. For instance, Chicago is ahead of them. Has Caleb Williams proven anything? No, he hasn't. Caleb Williams was also a number 1 pick and has Ben Johnson as his head coach now. You know what I mean? Like, I can see the arguments for sure.
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting Seattle ahead of Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville.
Trevor Lawrence is an interesting one because he's getting paid as if he is an elite quarterback. I think he has elite talent, but he hasn't really done anything. Like, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert, to me, are the 2 most interesting quarterbacks in that sense, that they're getting paid as if they are elite, but they haven't really proven anything in this league. They've had their moments. They've had their games. Herbert had a season or 2 where he looked really good, but you haven't won any big ball games. So I'm not surprised that the Seahawks are in front of him because, what has he done in this league?
Yeah. They had the worst group as New Orleans. And again, it's a positional ranking, so it's not just the starter carrying the weight there, but overwhelmingly so for quarterback. Running back was the only other top 10, the third top 10 group that Seattle had, the other top 10 one. and they are 10th at running back. The worst team in the league, Dallas.
Yeah. No.
Best was Detroit.
Detroit
really
number
good,
1.
Really good room.
ATL 2.
Yep,
Philly 3.
Yep. All checks out.
Yeah. Baltimore 5. Indy 6. Yeah. No, it's fine. Again, do you look at any group and think, wow,
no,
so much talent there? And that's not even a knock on them, though. You don't have to have a superstar at every position to be considered a contender, but I think that you got to have, if you really want to be a Super Bowl contender, you got to have at least 1 or 2 positions where you got that star. And you look at the running back rankings. Number 1, Detroit, Jahmyr Gibbs, makes complete sense. You got a star there. Wide receiver number 1, Cincinnati, Jamar Chase. Yeah, it makes complete sense. Number 1, tight ends, Baltimore. Now that's a collective, I think, grouping right there, obviously because of Likely and Andrew. So. Yeah, man, if you want to be a Super Bowl contender, you got to have a superstar, an all-pro at least one position, and most teams have a couple.
Okay, 2 more things we're going to get to as part of this roundtable. Again, that was ESPN's position group rankings, talking about where the Seahawks land. It's up on ESPN.com right now. Next up, we've got some Mike Macdonald sound. Third, we're going to get to some questions about the Seahawks specifically. I know what I need to know is coming your way at 45, but this is just going to be Seahawks right here. So preseason game questions, roster questions, etc. 866-979-3776. First, Mike Macdonald from Get Got on who he hopes will have a big impact on the Seahawks culture.
Well, the first guy we've had a chance to bring in was Cooper. Yeah. And that was part of the messaging to him, that this opportunity, not only was it home for him, but it was, you know, if you go back through like his career arc, you know, kind of being on the ground floor, but as a younger player in LA, and then, you know, kind of, you know, we've all seen the things he's done and what they've done as a team. But now at this point of your career, coming in here, hey, look, we're in the second year of this thing that we're trying to create, and then you're like, hey, go lead the charge, man. You're like, and it's the same thing I think is with you, Beast Mode. Like, we want him just to be him. Just come in, be Cooper, let that, you know, rub off on everybody else, especially in the receiver room, rest of the offense. You know, like we talk about being loose and focused. I mean, the attention to detail, but like such a great guy to hang around with, a great personality, great sense of humor, but about his business too. And I think you're kind of seeing that personality flow through the rest of the offense, which is really cool, and the rest of the team.
Do you see Cooper Kupp as being obviously not just an addition to the offense, but like this is part of a tone setter for the culture?
It is, because of his preparation, of his understanding of the game. I talked about how Byron Murphy has no choice but to learn, just being in the room that he's in. Mm-hmm. The receivers have no choice either. It's the NFL is made up of a bunch of competitive alpha males. And if you've ever been in one of those rooms and you feel like, as a player, I've been in one of those rooms and I felt like he knows so much more than me about this game, about the position. I'm going to ask the right questions. For me, that was Bobby Ingram. Bobby taught me so much in the season and a half, two seasons that I had with him, and made me look at the game differently, directly and indirectly. Like the conversations that he has when he was breaking down the film, talking to our wide receiver coach, Robert Prince, who's now with Miami, I want to say. You just pick up on that kind of stuff. So if this receiver room is made up of the guys that I think that are in there, they're watching Cooper Kupp, his work ethic, how he breaks down the film, how he talks about the game, and they're taking notes and they're picking up on that. And then it just spreads throughout the offense, because then you have meeting rooms where the whole offense is together when you do your install, and the conversations that you have no choice but to learn. Yeah. And you respect Cooper Kupp, Triple Crown winner, Super Bowl champion, was considered the best receiver in the game for a season or two. Yeah, he is contributing to the culture, even if he isn't doing it directly.
Let's stick with the conversation about culture. Mike Macdonald on what building culture means to him.
It's a fancy word. I mean, we don't say culture. Like, what is it exactly? I don't know. I mean, and then you start using a bunch of buzzwords and stuff, and then now you sound like an idiot. It's just how you do everything. It's just how you operate. You know, just how we roll. What's important to us. John Harbaugh used to say, speaking of former, he said, shared understanding of principles. So I thought that was a pretty cool definition.
Shared understanding of principles. Like that.
Yeah, I think we just I think what's helped this year is just tightening it down. Like coming into focus about just who we want to be, how we want to operate, what's important to us, making it resonate with the guys more, having a more effective message. And hopefully, I think they're buying in. You know, it feels like it.
That full interview, including comments from Sam Darnold on the Get Got podcast. I wanted to spend a few moments on this before we get to questions. Because, Bump, I think that while all of us love X's and O's, we're going to get to some X's and O's questions. While we all love, watching film or having our takeaways or our hot takes about things, this is stuff that actually matters. Like, Mike Macdonald's kind of laughing about it. He's like, I know it sounds buzzwordy, but, like, you've been part of locker rooms where there was great culture and locker rooms where there wasn't. There's absolutely, I'm sure, a difference.
Oh, yeah. Great culture. There's a vibe that's in the locker room where guys are holding each other accountable. Guys are communicating with each other in a way that's conducive to putting a great product out there. Like, good culture, you can be in a locker room and it can be hostile a little bit because the defense isn't getting done. The D-line isn't performing. The offensive line isn't performing. And you're holding each other accountable, right? And the guys who have more money in the bank, so to speak, the guys who have gone out there and have shown that they can do it on the field, those should be the loudest voices in a locker room that has a good culture. Bad culture is it's toxic, man. It's no one's talking to each other. It's fights or arguments breaking out. And you can have fights and arguments in a good locker room too. I think that's going to happen, but it's who's speaking, the way they're speaking. You can feel it. You can walk into a locker room that has bad culture and the air just feels thick. In the good locker room, it's a bit more, how to describe it? It's not the air is thin, but it's just there's just the lights are brighter, the conversations are more productive.
There's some clarity.
Yeah, there's this different feel when you walk into those locker rooms. And I've been in both, man. I played on a Seahawks team that was booty cheeks. We were bad. But you know what? The culture was still good. We knew we were bad, but we were trying to get better. We're holding each other accountable. And I played on a team where we were still bad, and we knew guys were going to get cut, and we knew that coaches weren't getting it done. You're questioning everything the coaches are saying. Yeah. So it goes a long way, man. But it starts with the players. Mike Macdonald is the leader, but the players really own the team.
It makes me think about two things. One, and again, I was never obviously part of this locker room, but I also never covered this team. But Matt Patricia's Lions, I was like never hearing great things about it from people who were covering the team or from, players or whatever who had been there. I think that it sounds like from the outside looking in, that was a locker room, an organization that lacked a cohesive culture, or at least like I would imagine, again, I've never been a player, but like if I'm putting myself in your shoes, I would imagine that as a player, nothing is more frustrating than when you feel like your coach either doesn't have an answer or doesn't know who he wants to be. Like, I want to feel like where we're going. Someone's driving this bus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe we didn't get there today. Like, maybe this game ended up being a loss. Maybe we ended up playing poorly. But, like, I need to know you know who we want to be and what we're about and that you can remind me of that. That's how I feel like I'd feel as a player. And when I think of bad coaches, coordinators that didn't work out, whatever, I think of maybe there being some confusion with direction.
There was, I'm not going to say what coaches, but we were on the field one time, and a position coach was talking to his group, and then the head coach came over and was listening in, and the position group coach got so nervous he started stuttering, and the communication was all off, and the head coach looked at him and was like, "Do you know what the F you're talking about?" In that moment, every player who heard that lost some respect for that position coach because he wasn't prepared. And then we lost some respect for the coach who said that to him because it's like, why would you blast your man like that, And that was on the team where we were bad and the culture was bad. That was a perfect example of just things being off. From that moment, nothing was the same, and we continued to lose ball games.
Okay, Drake. Let's get to some questions. I know this is probably going to cut into 4 Down territory, but someone had one for you. I'm trying to find it. I know. I'll paraphrase it. I can't find it exactly, but they wanted to know how you see maybe the primary starters at wide receiver right now. I'm guessing they're curious about MVS. And then which of the current DBs you'd most want to go against if you were still a receiver at the team?
What do I think about the current starters for
like
Hawks?
What's your kind of depth right now in your mind for this wide receiver group?
I think this group is right now they're 4 deep. It's JSN, MVS, Cooper Kupp, and Torrey Horton. I think they're going to carry maybe 6 receivers is what they typically carry. Derek Young, Jake Bobo, and Cody White are the 3 that I feel like have the head start in competing for the 5th and 6th spot. But don't sleep on Sims. He's a special teams guy. He's a returner. And I think Plumlee brings something to the table as well with his elusiveness. And who's the one that I want to go up against?
Yeah.
Am I trying to win?
Maybe just out of curiosity. Maybe you'd be like, well, let's see if I could beat him.
I want the best corner. So I want to go up against Spoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone said, so again, just a couple questions here. We'll skip 4-down territory if that's okay. We've just got a couple listener questions. ESPN has the Hawks with the longest odds amongst in the division to win the Super Bowl, says the 575. Does that sound right to you?
No. Yeah, maybe. I could see people picking or sleeping on them and the Cardinals. I mean, I would have the Cardinals as having the I would pick the Cardinals. Yeah, I'd pick the Cardinals. But I think the Seahawks, I understand why people would pick the Seahawks because you don't know. It's the unknown. I think we have kind of the same questions when it comes to both teams as you're looking at the quarterback and saying, can he do it? What Kyler Murray is, can he lead? Can he be consistent? Can he take care of the football? With Sam Darnold is, can he repeat what he did last year? But I think the thing that makes me pick the Seahawks over the Cardinals is just their defense. I think their defense is going to take another step this year.
Yeah, I think that there's, to answer, I'll say the same thing. It doesn't really check out for me, but I can see the argument. I think that for me, there's not a single, I would have it as the Cardinals as the longest odds. There's not a single case you can make for the Cardinals winning the division that you couldn't make for Seattle. You never know who could pop off. Okay, great. Like, that's the same thing you could say about Seattle. As far as not making it, they didn't make it last year. You've got a newer head coach. Okay, and? Like, that's exactly what Arizona's going through. If you wanted to say, Kyler Murray's better than Sam Darnold, well, what has Kyler Murray proven so far? Everyone's kind of waiting on Kyler Murray to take the step to look as consistently talented as we know he is.
He's flashed. He's flashed a bunch of times.
He's flashed, but you got to get through a season, get to the playoffs, and win. There are lots of players that have flashed, but like something with Kyler just ends up kind of falling apart sometimes. And I don't want to pin it on just Kyler. Last year, this team didn't necessarily have a Kyler problem. They had a problem with like explosive pass plays and defense.
Yeah, Kyler's never thrown.
Issue.
He's never thrown for 4,000 yards too. That's interesting. I thought he's come close, 39-71, and last year 38-51. He's only had 2 seasons where he didn't throw double-digit interceptions, which is common. I mean, if you're putting up 20-plus touchdowns, I mean, you can deal with some interceptions. But no, it's with Kyler is more just the leadership thing. That's the thing that sticks out the most. We know he can run the rock. His rush for 572 last year, 5 touchdowns. But he has a new coach coming into his 3rd year. So I think this is the year where if they're going to show the league that they can be legit, it's probably this year, 3rd year under Gannon, and all the things that they've done to that defense.
From the 206, they said, Brock and Salk actually had a good question today. Do you dress Jalen Milroe in the regular season as your 3rd quarterback just so you can install special packages for him?
Yes, definitely. I think you got to use him, man. He's a weapon. And you keep it simple. You make that playbook about 5 pages deep, but those 5 pages is going to highlight exactly what he's best at, and that's using his legs. But you allow him to throw it too, but I think you do dress him.
Yeah, I mean, and they've kind of, the only thing they've pushed back on is the idea, there were like the Taysom Hill comparisons, and they pushed back a little bit on the idea that like they're exactly the same, but I don't think that's ever what people were saying. I think people were saying, like, so you guys are going to have a package that you use. Like, how many teams actually have, a quarterback that they use specifically for that in the NFL? In college, sure, quite a bit.
Yeah.
In the NFL, that's not nearly as
not
common.
No, I mean, everyone points to Taysom Hill, right? That's probably the one player who is used like that the most in this league.
Jalen's a better runner.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been done before. But it won't be done often, that's for sure.
Pushed back on your Michael Vick Lamar take, and they said that Vick was a better passer.
Vick's never dropped 41 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions.
Yeah, Lamar accuracy is way better than Vick.
Yeah.
Vick has more like wow plays.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're talking like pure arm strength, Vick's got it.
Yeah, Vick's arm was stupid, but I mean, did we see what Lamar did last year?
I still think that even though Lamar has been a 2-time MVP, has gotten a ton of votes, like there was a case to be made last year instead of Allen, but like I still think there's a population of fans that see him as like, he can run and kind of throw the ball. Like I guarantee you, if you said, how many touchdowns did Lamar have last year compared to interceptions, there's a good chunk of people that would be like, I have no idea.
All right,
I couldn't tell you.
What do you think Mike Vick's highest touchdown total was in his career?
I mean, different time, 20 8, 28, 26.
31.
21.
20 passing? Jeez.
Okay, what's
Passing,
are you
21.
looking up combination rushing passing?
That's just passing 21.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, I figured 20s, and it's just a different era. Like you didn't have a lot of guys.
What do you think
throwing
his highest completion percentage was in the season?
Like 60%.
58.
62.
Okay.
And Lamar just I think he was 66% last year. Vic had years where he completed 56%, 55%, 52%. Like, Vic was just a great athlete. Still my favorite player of all time. But playing the quarterback position, yeah, that's Lamar all day.
Quick Mariners roster move. Luke Raley has been reinstated from the 10-day IL. Taylor Saucedo has been recalled from AAA Tacoma. Miles Mastroboni has been optioned to AAA Tacoma. That's going to be postgame yesterday, August 14th. Logan Evans has been placed on the 15-day IL with right elbow inflammation. Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
Everything. Catch the Mariners on 770 AM, starting with pregame at 3 p.m. and tune into the Seahawks taking on the Chiefs at Seattle Sports with pregame starting at 5 p.m. Kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. Farm Report coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
I was always a guy that, like, if I could get an interception, man. How many did you have in your career? 3. How many should you have had? If you, as you put it, if you didn't have frying pan hands. Yeah, I would say probably double that. When I was in high school, I played in a state championship game. I had 2 interceptions in one game, and I was like, that was my favorite game. I just loved that.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Summer is here, and Washington Energy's BOGO 40% off sale is on now. Update and enhance your home with beautiful new windows and doors, expertly installed by Washington Energy Services. Save today with one of our best deals of the year. Buy one energy-efficient window, get the second at 40% off. And BOGO 40% off all entry, patio, and interior doors right now. From traditional to modern home updates, and with over 65 years of award-winning installations, Washington Energy is the clear choice. Call today for a free estimate.
We at 3 Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help.
From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's the Farm Report. Joining us right now, top 10 Mariners prospect, Aquasox starter Ryan Sloan, joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Ryan, how's it going?
Doing well. How about you guys?
Fantastic. Excited to have you join us. Obviously, I've heard nothing but amazing things, but we haven't gotten a chance to chat with you. And one of my early questions was actually going to be, and something that we've typically asked prospects who have joined us on Farm Report, are about players you watched growing up. I'm prepared, Ryan, just so you know, for your answer to hurt my feelings, because you were born in 2006, and a player you watched growing up might still be playing. Who did you love watching growing up?
I mean, I got a couple answers to this question. I feel like I was always a Cubs fan growing up in Chicago. So Jake Arrieta was always a guy that I watched. He was on the World Series team in, was that 2016? So watched him a good amount. Other than that, obviously you got the Garrett Coles, the Scherzers, the Verlanders. Those are a lot of guys that, you know, I've just grown up, always watched. Have always been really good. So, yeah.
What's your favorite sports movie of all time?
Favorite sports movie of all time? Probably Moneyball. Big fan of Moneyball.
Like it.
It was a great one. Just like a great, I would argue, almost great movie of all time. I know that you start talking about some like other great films, but just a really classic one. You were named the Mariners minor league pitcher for the month of July. First of all, congratulations. Secondly, it must just be a whirlwind type season for you. Tell us a bit about just kind of what you've learned, how you've grown, maybe the thing that stands out most to you, you know, right now, reflecting on it in August.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it's been an interesting season, you know, first full season of just playing baseball for 5 to 6 months and playing 100-some games, you know, so it's a little bit of a shock to the system just being at the baseball field so much compared to seasons in the past. But, you know, it's just been a huge learning time for me, I think. Obviously the outcomes and results have been pretty good throughout the year. And but I think even more importantly, just the amount of stuff that I've learned, just having a bad month or two, going into a better month, just learning from it, There's been so much just mentally and physically and pitch-wise that I've learned this year just from struggling and having a lot of guys around me that have been through a lot and have played a lot more baseball games than I have, so being able to talk to everyone and just pick their brains and really just learn a lot about myself and what makes people good at the next level.
When did you realize, that you had gas? When did you realize that, I want to be the guy on the mound?
Yeah, I always used to hit. My dad was a catcher in college, played at Austin Peay, so always hit, played a little bit outfield, a little bit of shortstop. But it was really my freshman, sophomore year. I started to throw a little bit harder than everybody else. Ended up committing to Wake Forest when I was a freshman, so I was like, okay, this pitching thing may not be too shabby for me. So kind of from there, decided I'm going to pitch and just kind of took off from there.
Yeah, it ended up working out. I like not too shabby being like, well, you are one of the Mariners' top prospects. So it ended up working pretty good. I have a question that is a little weird to ask, but it's also a very curious aspect of the life of a prospect, especially a top prospect. We're just through the trade deadline, obviously. What's it like watching that as a prospect? I'm sure that there's a part of you that's, kind of glancing at Twitter or maybe that, have friends or teammates that are kind of going like, what's this experience going to be like? Are you waiting for potential news? Are you watching it closely?
I think for me, I was kind of just like, I'm going to keep doing what I can control, I guess you could say. Obviously, you have the thoughts and the jokes where it's like, hey, it was a funny time because when I was in Modesto, we were playing Visalia, and the Eugenio Suarez talks were pretty loud at that time. And there'd be a joke every once in a while, like, "Hey, we may end up facing you this week, when you get traded to the Diamondbacks, so you're just gonna have to go switch clubhouses." But so hearing those jokes is pretty funny. But other than that, I wasn't super invested in it, but just going through it for the first time was kind of interesting. All the tensions, I guess, were a little high, especially for a team that was, they're making a run in the playoffs in the World Series. So, but yeah, it was a cool little experience. Happily I didn't get traded, but yeah.
How's life on the road for you, man? Like, what do you do to pass time?
For me, I just walk a lot, I'll walk and just talk to people a lot, to be honest. So when we're not at the field, I'll just be walking around talking to somebody. But at the field, a lot of time, I'm a big sports card collector, so I'll be buying cards a lot of times, selling cards, seeing what deals I can work out.
What's the most you've ever sold a card for?
Yeah, I sold a good amount a couple days ago, but it was a group of cards for like $1,000.
Wow. What's the best one where you're like, I'm not touching this one, I'm hanging on to it forever?
Actually, I have my own 101, autograph. So that one will not be moving ever.
Who's your boy on the squad? Who do you kick it with the most?
For me, it's mostly guys that were in Modesto with me. Still trying to get a feel. I've only been here for, 4 or 5 days, so I'm trying to get a feel with the guys that have been up here the whole year. But a lot of guys that came from Modesto, so like Matt Ellis, Carter DeRiggi, Calvin Shapira, a lot of guys that just were in Modesto with me throughout the year and then ended up coming up here.
We were doing some just like light research, just trying to figure out a bit more about you, obviously, before the interview. And we were trying to find stuff where it's like, let's find stuff about Ryan outside of the stuff we already know to be true. We saw a foodie account. Are you still running the account? Are you still a foodie? Are you going to restaurants? What's going on here? Is this the outside of baseball hobby?
I'm a huge foodie. My dad's in the restaurant business, so that kind of brought me into it. But I'm a huge foodie. Yelp is my go-to. see what places I'm going to be trying out. But yeah, I mean, I started that account and then just couldn't find enough food in Modesto to keep it running.
What's like the best thing you've had? Like if you have to give, and it doesn't have to be nearby. It could be a place that you've had in a hometown, but a restaurant where someone was like, if I could travel anywhere and try it, where am I going? What am I ordering?
I don't know
That's
if I can give you an
I
exact
know.
place, but I'm a huge sushi fan, so really any high quality sushi place would have to be my number one.
Hey, someone wants me to ask you if you play hacky sack before the game.
I haven't gotten into the hacky sack yet.
Is that a thing? Why do they want me to ask you that? You guys do that? What's the deal with hacky sack?
Oh, they play. I'm more of the football. There's kind of like two groups. You got the hacky sack group and you got the football throwing group. I'd say I'm more in the football throwing group.
Got it. So you got the hacky sack players and the cool kids.
Did you play quarterback in high school?
No, I was just baseball in high school.
Okay.
He is top 10 Mariners prospect, Aquasox starter, Ryan Sloan. Ryan, thanks for taking the time, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Ryan.
For sure. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good one. All right, get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
I was always a guy that, like, if I could get an interception, man.
How many did you have in your career?
3.
How many should you have had? If you, as you put it, if you didn't have frying pan hands.
Yeah, I would say probably double that. When I was in high school, I played in a state championship game. I had 2 interceptions in one game, and I was like, that was my favorite game. I just loved that.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Ready to elevate your everyday? Quince has the Luxe Staples Insider Swear By, minus the markup. From 100% European linen styles and 14-karat gold jewelry to gorgeous leather bags and elevated home finds, Quince has it all. And by partnering directly with top artisans and ethical factories, Quince delivers premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Discover everyday luxury without the markup at Quince. Go to quince.com/style upgrade for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/style upgrade.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed
Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in to What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I need to know, is orange and black the worst sports color uni combo? Yes.
I used to not like orange and black.
Mm-hmm.
Then I became.
But then you were part of Pac 2, and now it's an allegiance.
Yeah, one, because of the Giants. And two, I like it now because I was the head coach at Monroe, and the colors are orange and black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's acceptable.
So I can't hate on it.
I guess I don't want to make fun of children.
I've liked it. I think the Giants and the Orioles have a good thing going.
Yeah. You gotta do it right.
Right.
You gotta do it right.
I don't like it. I don't like the Bengals.
I mean, what other colors could the Bengals have? You can't color a Bengal any other way.
So true.
Very true.
Okay, point made. I don't like orange and black though. I would say it's up there with some of the Oregon, and I'm not just saying this is a Husky, some of the Oregon color combos. Green is fine. I like green. I hate when green has yellow as an accent.
Can we admit though that, I mean, we don't like the Ducks, but they be having some fire uniforms.
They're dumb little duck unis that are like little orange socks.
Excuse me, I'm
stupid.
spitting on the mic.
No, they have fire combos.
Fire uniform.
What's going to happen when you've got Nike? Sure. Congratulations. And I say this as someone who doesn't love purple, but I don't like the ones with the orange. The worst Oregon thing they possibly did. You know what I'm talking about with like the little orange socks?
Oh, yeah, where they looked like a duck?
Atrocious.
Yeah.
Absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
What I need to know, is there a realistic chance we get a Rookie of the Year player out of the Seahawks? And if so, who would it be?
No.
Yeah, Zabel's not winning it because they never give it to a lineman.
I know, right?
Eamon Worry, I think, would probably be the best shot at it.
Cam Ward's going to win it. Cam Ward's going to light it up. Go Cougs.
Someone said green and yellow is the Sonics. I said what I said.
Dang.
I don't own a single Huskies.
What was that soundbite she used to have? And I don't regret it.
And I don't regret it.
Brady Robick does a great impression of Stacy's
It's
room.
Brady being me.
I don't regret it.
What I need to know is a fully established adult in adulthood. What's something a younger generation than yours does that really irritates you?
My son does this. He's 15.
Before knowing what it is.
Put him on blast, Bump.
I love you, Michael Bumpus. But goodness gracious, the pictures that they take, like, and the faces they make when they take their pictures, like they're piercing their lips. And like, I'm so unbothered, but I'm taking a selfie in a mirror. Like, and then the homies that get in, they're all making the same stupid face.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? But I mean, he's a handsome kid, I guess. It works for him.
Okay, I don't think this is a generational, like Gen Z does it, millennials don't. I think this is young people do it. So I did this when I was a teenager. Teenagers now are doing it. Gen X, it doesn't matter. Like, young people just do this. Young people are obsessed with looking like they don't care. That's what really irks me. And it doesn't bother me in a way that actually ruins my day or irritates me, but in a way that makes me a little uncomfortable to watch. Like, the Starbucks I used to go to would be flooded with high schoolers, and every single one of them would have to act like they don't care, but they're like constantly observing each other, and it just made me uncomfortable. I have too much social anxiety to be in that situation. I was like, y'all need to stop watching each other. Like, it's making me uncomfortable. But yeah, they're very obsessed with seeming like they're just over it. They're just over it.
Yeah.
I feel bad for anyone with teenagers. What an attitude to live with.
I had a kid.
I was probably insufferable.
I had a kid I coached who said he wishes the clubs were the way they were when we were coming
You
up.
couldn't handle the clubs.
Because we were sweating in that thing.
Gen Z could not handle the clubs being the way they were when we were young.
We were
You can't handle
sweating.
it. I saw a whole, let me tell you what, I saw a whole video. Now, this is unique to women, so only a portion of our audience, and I get that, but like, they were like, you were not going to clubs in sneakers back in the day. You were wearing 6-inch platform heels, wearing no jacket, because it wasn't about comfort. It was about office wear as club wear. Yeah. Like, that's what you were wearing. Kids these days couldn't handle the truth.
Our clubs were popping, son.
You guys wouldn't be ready for it. You couldn't imagine. You can't imagine that life. 866-979-3776. Which Mariners player, if you had to pluck one off the lineup, would you put on the Seahawks, and what position would they play?
Julio would be a wide receiver or a safety.
Yeah, he'd be my X receiver.
Yeah. I'll take Julio for sure.
What if you had to do the opposite? Take a Seahawks player and put him on the Mariners?
Jason would be a shortstop. His brother is literally a professional baseball player.
Who did we just talk about? Oh, MBS used to play baseball.
MBS. He looks like
a baseball fan.
He looks like he said he played baseball.
Play
He looks like a pitcher.
I'll take MBS.
John Reese Plumlee was a college baseball player.
Really? At UCF?
Yeah, that's who we'll take.
He had I think he had 10, 15 home runs one season. That's my pick.
that's probably the one we should go with.
It was just a fun fact.
Scoreboard, baby.
Bump, with the abuse you've taken this week from Stacy and Curtis, excuse you, 360, you're going on Diva List. Will you need to vacation at all next week?
I'm going to take a day off next week. So, yes, it happened naturally. That's why they're doing it, because they're mad I'm leaving them. So they've been on my head this week.
I don't think we've been that bad.
I don't think so either.
Dome piece.
No, that's not true. You've done it to yourself.
Nah.
You said hand-handled. You said gratis spot.
Dark time.
You said
how many
nighttime,
times,
dark time.
You know how many times I let you slide with stuff?
Do we have the cut? Curtis, do we have the highlight reel from Bump this week? These are
I'll be letting you slide.
This is
no more.
I don't do anything.
You know 3LW? No
wrong.
more.
No, baby, I'm
gonna do it right.
Getting a little tired of your broken promises.
Promise.
Some people don't enjoy because you want that instant gratification. I understand that.
Carbonate, merry-go-round, nighttime, dark time, hand-dandled.
Miracle Round is a good one.
Miracle. First off, that's a stretch. That's a stretch. That's just my ethnicity coming out, and your ears just can't hear it. You know?
I think it's merry-go-round. And the nighttime, dark time, from now on, this game tonight is a dark time game.
It's a dark time game.
It's a dark time game. So you got a dark time game. Seahawks taking on the Chiefs. It's a 7 p.m. It's a super dark time kickoff.
It's a dark time. It won't be dark. It won't be dark, though.
No.
That's why players will have shades on the sideline. hating on JSN, for
JSN
protecting his eyes.
Has been issued a warning.
It's also
and he will
rainy.
get many more.
It's rainy today,
It's
so
rainy.
if you're wearing
There's
sunglasses
no
tonight,
reason to wear
you're
sunglasses.
Yeah.
If I see a single
You're
player
only
on
a
the
diva.
sideline with sunglasses, you know what list he's
Facts.
getting put on? Diva
list.
behavior
you
watch.
You will find somebody on the sideline with shades on.
And he'll find his face on the Diva Watch list, along with yours and JSN's and G Scott. I got to change it up though. It can't just always be for sunglasses inside. One
What
of
else
these days,
is
it's
it?
got to be. I don't know. Maybe you get food delivery service. Maybe
You've gotten food delivered here.
bucket hat on the sideline.
Maybe you have a bucket hat. Maybe you
can't wear a bucket hat? What is happening?
You know, if
What is happening?
Remember when DK had to go to the bathroom, so he had the cart take him to the bathroom?
Have you
diva behavior.
Well, you're a girl, so you never admit this. You never had to poop so bad you didn't want to move.
I've never pooped a day in my life. That's diva behavior. Diva behavior is hard to find sometimes. When you got a lot of like really solid dudes, you got to really search for diva behavior. Like, do I think you're a diva? No. Do you have a shower bench and wear sunglasses inside?
I wore them inside for 10 seconds. Hey, did you tell G he's on the diva list?
Yes.
All right, I told him, I said, hey, you're on the list. Go holler at Stacy real quick.
That's why he came in here. Yeah, he saw the pictures that I had. JSN may or may not know he's on the diva list.
Oh, he's going to tell him. I'll tell him. G's going to tell him, though. Yeah.
Well, and you know what? G said, I hate that photo. And I said, that's another point for you. So G's the leader in the clubhouse right now on the diva list. We'll see if anyone gets on the list from tonight. And by the way, texters aren't off of it. I've got a whole category for different area codes being on the list. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
He's the best catcher in baseball.
Pitch to Cal, swing and a drive.
And he's on Seattle Sports, Thursday afternoons all season long. It's the Honey Bucket Cal Raleigh Show.
Presented by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians.
More history for Cal Raleigh.
I love being here and I love these fans in the city.
Catch every episode of the Honey Bucket Cal Raleigh Show, presented by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians, on the Seattle Sports YouTube page, the Seattle Sports app, and seattlesports.com.
You gotta love baseball season, but when it comes to your windows, you don't want any curveballs. Rick Riz here, reminding you to trust your clubhouse with locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Experience the difference with high-quality products, expert installation, and top-notch customer service. It's always a home run with Pella. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Just go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
The ballpark is rocking like 2001. Let us clear up your allergies so you can enjoy more of each game. Hey, it's Dr. Ryan Stern of the Stern Sinus Center. Let us fix your ear, nose, and throat problems. Let's make your congestion, sinusitis, snoring, and allergies a non-issue. We can diagnose and treat everything from allergy testing and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced balloon sinuplasty. Come and see us in Federal Way in Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything? Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age. making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.